This past Saturday, your #1 ranked University of St. Francis football team walked away with a 27-19 victory at number 20 St. Xavier. Junior running back P.J. Dean paced the Cougs, rushing 31 times for 128 yards with a touchdown. Two big plays in the second half by the Chicago Cougars pulled St. X to within 5 points of the lead with 8:54 left to play in the fourth quarter. 3 minutes later, Ryan Johnson returned an interception 31 yards to the house as the defense took over for USF's 27th straight win.
Well, first of all, give credit to St. X. It was their homecoming. Their coaches had them well prepared. They played excellent. They played hard. They went after it. We had our chances to put the game away. You know, we had our malfunctions on the headsets early as sideline communication goes down. So in terms of play calls and so forth, we were in a bit of a scramble in the first half, still managed to get 14 points out of it. Second half, you know, we got St. X's old set, and we could at least hear something, but it wasn't great. But anyway, we had our chances to blow the game open and have kind of the same scores we've had the first 3 weeks. We're down in the red zone, and we hit a play action pass out of the backfield to Chris Smith. Get a crazy call, and I checked the rules, and it was, you know, one of those things you get. You know, it's a call instead of first to goal inside the 5, we're backed up. We have to take a penalty. I did on purpose to punt it down there and pin him, which we did. And then, you know, they chuck a Hail Mary for a 94, 96, whatever it was, touchdown. And that was a 14-point swing right there that could have really made a big difference in the outcome of the game, or the final score of the game. Outcome was what it was. But we overcame adversity. I think we didn't play our best football game. But, you know, things happen for reasons. I thought it was a great learning experience for us. I think we went into the game and we weren't really focused 100%, ready to play, and you have to be. You have to respect all, fear none. I've preached it for 40 years, and maybe I didn't bite into it myself last week. So, you know, the next game's your most important game, and you can't look ahead. And after 40 years doing this, I'm still learning too.
And after the game, we learned that senior linebacker Pearson Harnish set a new Cougar record with 398 career tackles, passing 2006 NAIA Player of the Year Brian Kurtz, who had 393. Harnish was named the MSFA Defensive Player of the Week with 14 tackles, 1 forced fumble, and a QB hurry against St. X.
Well, he is an extraordinary person. He's not only a great football player, and I'm happy for the accolades that he's able to acquire, but he'd be the first guy to say, you know, that's nice, but the important thing is for us to be successful and make sure that our team's playing its best and winning. And I am happy for him. What a great guy. I mean, the guy could be president of the United States in 20 years. He can do anything he wants to do. What a great leader, what a great player. Can't say enough good things about him.
Coach D has also been a great leader through his 40 years of coaching college football. He now has 320 victories under his belt. Last year, he passed Amos Alonzo Stagg, and this Saturday passed Pop Warner for the 8th most wins in college football coaching history. Up next would be Bear Bryant, who finished his career with 323 victories.
Well, you know, it's good for the ego and all that sort of thing. But those guys were great men because they cared about their players and they wanted them to develop in life after football. Never met Pop. He passed when I was 3, or Alonzo. Did meet the Bear. He was a strong figure of a man and was a man of conviction. And yeah, I'm honored to be in that mix. But again, the most important thing right now is our players and teaching them to be the very best they can be, positive attitude, great body language, maximum effort each and every play.
And that's exactly how defensive end Malachi Mannion has approached his senior season. Against St. X, he recorded a career-high 7 tackles with a sack and took away some positive vibes after the gritty Cougar win.
What I took away was how well our team handled adversity. You know, like when they had the block punt, nobody didn't blame each other. Everybody said, hey, let's get it together. Even with the touchdown, when Willie got beat, I picked up Will. I told Will, I said, hey, man, I still take you over any DB in the nation. Let's just come on, let's bring it back together. And we end up pulling out with a win, thanks to Ryan and Dunton, and him tipping the pass and Ryan taking it back to the house. It was, you know, just one of them games, you know, everybody had to come together, you know, and play all 4 quarters.
Malachi came to USF via Detroit. His hometown taught him a lot, but coming in as a freshman in 2014 was an eye-opening experience, but an experience he holds dear to his heart.
I can honestly say when I came, you know, fresh out of home, you know, from Detroit, I wasn't even ready to like grow up yet. That was my, you know, I remember the first day of camp, like I had cried myself to sleep because I was homesick. And, you know, I was kind of like, you know, you could take me out of Detroit, but you can't take Detroit out of me. So I was, you know, credited, you know, being here, you know, 4.5 years. You know, Detroit, you know, made me, but Fort Wayne, you know, molded me into a man.
Yeah, you know, he is a great example for all of our young players, our freshmen, to look at. When he came in as a freshman, I thought, oh boy, you know, this young man is, you know, he's got some things against him, and see how he overcomes. It was a culture shock. It was a big adjustment into a different environment. But the more I got to know him, what a young man of character he is. And he grew, and he latched on to everything that he's learned here, and he's grown from it to what he is today. And what is he today? He's first class. He's a winner. He's a man of a character and integrity. He plays his heart out. He's earned respect and love from team members and the entire coaching staff.
First, I didn't know I was playing for a legend until, like, you know, when he got that 300 win, I'm like, yeah, I'm really playing for somebody, you know. But I, you know, have a whole lot of respect for Coach Donnelly. Coach Donnelly was like been like a second father here. You know, it was rough because I had people in my corner. I didn't know how to put my trust in other people, but you know, he stayed on me. I remember my freshman year, I was like the first kid, one of the first kids that was in the office. You know, like 2 or 3 times a week, he was pretty much telling me, hey, you gotta get yourself together if you want to be a part of this team. So, you know, I took it upon myself to figure out ways how I could be a part of the team. So, you know, I credit, you know, Coach Donnelly because he pushed me to where I wanted to be.
And growing up, it was Malachi's family that pushed him in the right direction. Many of the friends he grew up with stayed hanging out even after the streetlights came on. But his father Marlon and mother Josephine made sure he and his siblings came home and not be a part of the street life.
Growing up on the west side of Detroit, on Joe Road, I would say it was all around rough. I remember I lost so many friends to the streets. People are raised in it. Some people do it because, you know, the lack of housing. You know, I'm growing up around kids who don't have fathers, don't have mothers, they don't have no direction to go to. So I was one of them fortunate ones, you know, to have like both parents in the household. Even though my parents are now divorced, I was able to have like people around me staying on me, say, hey, we know you gonna make it. We gonna stay on you. We don't want you to be out here on the streets and stuff. But I learned from my dad. My dad, he was in the game, so he stayed hard on me. Anything that I was, you know, drifted towards to, he used to pounding on me, say, hey, this is not what you want. You'll be a statistic. You'll be, you know, I'm glad for me, I made it past 21. That's something I'll forever remember. What made me stay at St. Francis, one of my closest friends, his younger brother, who I was close to, got killed. So I literally told myself in my head, I said, I have to stay here. I have to get myself together. I have to do this now or else I won't be able to do this later. For me, I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to see the world. That's what football gave me, you know. I'm seeing different places. I just want to see something different. So that's what traveling, playing football, and being in Fort Wayne did.
And Fort Wayne's Bishop Darcy Stadium is the place to be this Saturday when the #1 Cougs host #6 Marion. 4 national championships combined between the two schools in the past 6 seasons.
This conference is just getting crazy. I mean, you know, Siena Heights is undefeated. Concordia stubbed their toe last week because their great tailback was out. And then, you know, you throw in Indiana Wesleyan and Lawrence Tech into the mix next year. I mean, they're all doing it right. So, yeah, there's some great football teams and other conferences across the country, but they don't have to go through this gauntlet on a weekly basis. So, you know, Marion's, they've done a great job building their program down there. There's a real commitment from the institution to be the best. What they've accomplished in their short period of time has been tremendous. Have respect for them. You know, and there is a rivalry and hopefully a good, sincere, honest respect on both sides, which I think there is. So, you know, this is what you try to teach them and get ready for is a big game and to be your best and not overthink it, just go play it.
Football gave me everything I know, gave me opportunities, gave me everything I wanted. I built friendships that will last a lifetime with football. You know, football, I would say, will bring people from different backgrounds, different nationalities, different, you know, beliefs. It will just cultivate you. And I'm like best friends with like some of the guys on the team. You wouldn't even think I'm just living a dream right now. I wouldn't even thought, you know, in a million years I would be winning. I would have had a national championship, let alone 2. So I'm just all around grateful and thankful.
And it's moments like this. The Knights defense comes in ranked #3 in the NAIA, and their offense ranks #6. As a member of the St. Francis football team, Malachi has a 2-3 record versus Marion and knows he and his teammate have a battle on their hands this Saturday under the lights at Darcy Stadium.
That physicality, like no other team, that's one of the most physical team I ever seen. You know, big O-line, you know, but the smallest guys is probably like 6'3", 290. They got a, you know, NFL size tight end, you know, just sound all across the board. You can expect the best from them. You won't expect no lacking in any form of the game, offense, defense, or special teams. So you could tell who wins the games on who more focused that preparation week. So that's what I take from it.
Defensively, first, second, third level, they got players. They got great pass rushers. They got great athletes on the back end. They pressure well, they cover well, they play the run well, well coached. Special teams is great. Offensively, their quarterback manages the game extremely well. Their offensive line is very good. They got great skilled players. They got some transfers, Division I guys on both sides of the ball. They got playmakers. They got a great tailback. So, you know, all those things we're going against a great football team. So, you know, Saturday night, 6 o'clock, you know, you kick off with 2 of the best football teams in this division of play. Probably they're going to have to play each other twice, whatever happens on Saturday night. So it'll be a great game. It'll be a competitive game, and I'm sure it'll be fun for the fans.
Seven wins in a row for USF. That's an MSFA and school record. Will it grow to 28th Street? That to be determined here tonight. Hi, everybody. I'm Joe Parsons. Sean McBride is back again with us. Corey Kitchen from the Dwenger football staff will be with us as well for this big game in college football here in the Summit City. #1 ranked USF against #6 Marion. Doesn't get any better than that. 2 teams that, quite frankly, Sean, do not like each other very much. This has been a spirited rivalry, to say the very least. USF holds a slight 7-6 edge in lifetime wins, but remember, Marion is 4-3 here in Fort Wayne. We're the Knights a week ago, looking ahead in last week's 24-6 home victory over Olivet Nazarene. That's the fewest points scored by Marion since last year's loss to St. Francis.
When you look at their first show, were they looking ahead? That is a great question, because when you look at the first 3 games for the Marion Knights, they beat St. X 52-7, Robert Morris 51-7, and Olivet Nazarene they only put up 24. So again, this is a circle date for both squads. They might very well have been looking ahead.
And Sean, the Knights, they are absolutely loaded, and it all starts with veteran quarterback Luke Johnson, who threw for over 2,300 yards and 24 touchdowns a year ago.
Yeah, he is a playmaker as well. One thing we have to look for tonight could be possibly Frankie Young, the freshman quarterback, saw some time last week as well. He is a playmaker as well. Marion, once again, they don't restock, they just reload year after year. Now
perhaps you can make the same claim about St. Francis, maybe looking ahead in that 27-19 road victory over St. Xavier last week. Even Kevin Donnelly will admit to some advanced strategery, shall we say, over from his coaching staff regarding Marion. And P.J. Dean has done just a great job filling in for the injured Justin Green. In the last 2 games, Dean has rushed for nearly 300 yards. He's scored 4 rushing touchdowns. But Sean, Cougar fans are going to tell you right now that this is a different team, very much different when they have Green back and his 2,000 rushing yards and over 33 overall touchdowns from a season ago.
You know, he elevates the entire team, Joe. His play is so fantastic. He is a game breaker, and it is fantastic that he will be available for tonight's game. When we look at the offensive unit, however, for St. Francis tonight, it's the 2 tackles that I'm really going to be watching, because Marion have a defensive front that are just mean, nasty, and aggressive. They're leading the sacks in the nation from the NAIA perspective, and it really comes down to their 2 defensive ends for Marion, and of course that's Skaggs, number 40, and 6, Mac Dutra. So we're going to keep an eye on that tonight.
Knights Cougars here tonight under the lights at Darcy Stadium is the game of the week in NAIA football. We'll step out for a break in a 1-minute timeout, then return and check in with Cougar coach Kevin Donnelly. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM. Just a reminder, 1 minute, 1 minute. If you're going down. No, you're not going down. You do.
Just point to me and I'll be ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you please direct your attention to the sideline. Today, throughout the NAIA coaches will be wearing patches in recognition of an initiative from the NAIA for the coaches to cure muscular dystrophy. Today, at today's game, we've got 3 guests with us here to join us for today's contest. The Roth family, please welcome Ryan Roth and his parents Dan and Jennifer to today's game. Coaches across the NAIA will be wearing these patches. We encourage you to go to the website for the NAIA and look for information for the coaches, Secure MD, and please, God bless you all.
Midwest America is your home for mortgages and all your personal banking and business needs. Visit them online at any of their 11 Northeast Indiana locations. Midwest America, for your home, for your family.
Did you catch that? Head coach Kevin Danley, the first and only coach the Cougar football program has known in his 21st year. University of St. Francis now still 4-0 undefeated, ranked number 1. And of course, a year ago they were 14-0, 6-0 in the Mid-East League. They beat Reinhardt University, as you remember, in the national championship game 24-13. Mark Henninger in his 6th year, head coach of the Marion University Knights. They are 3-0, ranked number 6. Season ago they were 7-3, 4-2 in the Mid-East League. 2 shutout victories to close the year. 63-0 at Lindenwood. Belleville was their final game, and they are very, very good. We have a game time temperature about 61 degrees, partly cloudy skies here tonight. Winds out of the northeast, very light, about 3 miles an hour. And this one's shaping up to be just a huge, huge matchup. Sean?
Football fans, just a reminder that Dr. Osinga of Northeast Chiropractic Center is our 106.3 sports media sponsor. You can catch all the highlights from past games on YouTube. Watch every touchdown, tackle, and big hit at youtube.com/Redeemer Radio.
Big game tonight in the Summit City. Big crowd on hand. Glad you could join us here tonight on Redeemer Radio. Let's take a timeout and we'll get ready for the coin toss as Corey Kitchen from the Dwenger football staff will join us down at midfield. And we'll be back with the opening kickoff. This is Cougar playoff football. Well, it seems like playoff football on Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM. Okay, guys, let's change up. Let's go to the run the 30, the opening prayer, and the game open. So we don't get caught short.
Under the giant American flag or online at GlenbrookDodge.com. Cougar fans, please remember that the campus of USF is now a tobacco-free environment. Do your part by not using tobacco products anywhere on the campus of USF. Thank you for your cooperation.
Open. Okay, welcome back to Darcy Stadium with Sean McBride. I'm Joe Parson. You can just feel the anticipation, Sean, as everybody really quiet right now in this huge crowd that has come out for this night game in Fort Wayne. Great support from Marion fans across the way, and this one's something special.
Very much so, Joe. A playoff atmosphere, to say the least. It's a beautiful night here in Fort Wayne. Little overcast, chilly, perfect football weather, and great to see. The stands are absolutely packed. It's standing room only, and we have to remind the folks here in front of the press box that while it is standing room only, you can't stand here. We've got a job to do, and we are very much looking forward to this contest tonight. University of St. Francis defending a 27-game winning streak here at home against what many would call their arch nemesis, the Marion Knights here. So we are really looking forward to tonight's game.
Couple of other games going on elsewhere today in the Mid-States Football Association. How about Concordia today? They're at Lindenwood Belleville, 71-0 victory over the Lynx in an away game. Taylor hosting St. Xavier tonight. That's a night game. Both 4-0 Siena Heights. and 1-4 Missouri Baptist. They are idle today. And as we mentioned, we'll be in Michigan, in Ann Arbor. No, we're not playing U of M. It'll be Concordia, and that'll be a 1 o'clock kickoff and pregame on Redeemer Radio next Saturday afternoon at 12:45. Interesting for Marion, Sean, because today starts a 3-game road trip for the Knights. They're at St. Ambrose next Saturday, then at Taylor 2 weeks from today. So they are going to get used to home away from home.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And when you hit the road for that amount of time, Joe, you're really just hoping that everyone stays healthy. Because, again, you're away from home, you're on the bus, you're traveling, you're not in the same bed every night when you're on the road like that if you are doing a stayover. And it can get a little dicey. So let's see what happens to Marion during this time.
Referee tonight is Jeff Gwynn. He's motioning the co-captains to head out to midfield. And we're getting the player introductions and the coin toss coming up.
Marion won the toss, goes into the throw. You got one. Marion will kick. Norfolk.
Thank you very much, Corey. We'll be back with the opening kickoff. Cougar football on Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM. Yeah, I tried to change up with you, Joe. What we wanted to do was pack. We got to hurry now. I was hoping to get that opening prayer and the game open in combination with that last spot. Yeah, we only got 1:25 now, so. Opening prayer. I think we can squeeze it in. Try it. We'll be okay. Welcome into Darcy Stadium, everybody, with Sean McBride and Corey Kitchen. I'm Joe Parson. You've joined us just in time. Marion won the toss. They deferred. They will kick away from right to left as we look at it. Matt Komakevich will go back and kick return. He had one last week in Chicago for 14 yards. He has had a long this year of 35 yards, averaging just about 17 yards a kick return.
Komakevich, he's a hard-nosed runner. He's a sophomore coming out of Penn High School. And they know how to do it up there, so let's see what he can do here on this kick return.
Getting ready. This is not just your regular football game. This is something special. Number 1 against number 6. Marion ready to kick the football away. Glad you could join us. Here we go. Line drive kick coming near side. Komakevich has got it from the goal line. Works to the 10 right side, looking for a block. Turns the corner. 25-30, 35-40. 45, one man to beat in a foot race down the right sidelines. and is going to stay on his feet until stumbling inside the 10-yard line. That is a 90-yard return by Matt Komakevich. If Kevin Downey wanted a great start for this football team, that would be it right there.
That is a money play. That is some sweet action right there. Special teams coming up huge for the USF Cougars. Komakevich dancing down the sidelines, turning on the Jets. And now here come the USF Cougars on offense with a short field. And let's hope they just pound one right in.
They will spot that ball at the Marion 11. Now it's going to be inside the 10. Oh, there's too many lines out there, Sean. At the 9, it'll be first and goal from the 9-yard line. First snap from scrimmage, but you could not ask for a better start. Rixey now. They flip-flop him to the left side. That's the wide side of the field. Justin Green is in there in the backfield, gets the call, trying to run off tackle to the right side. Still pushing the pile inside the 5 and down to about the 4-yard line.
Nice job by Green, being very patient, waiting for his blocks to happen as the guard pulled and pushed to the right side. And again, nice little 4 or 5 yard gainer right inside the 5 there. Landon
Myers starting at center, Nick Shoemaker and Austin Smoger, the veteran guards, Ryder Burkett and Reese Roney, their tackles. They average 283 a man tackle to tackle. Will Christman started into the ball game, checks, and then it comes back in now. And Rixey checks to the bench, so it'll be second and goal from the 5-yard line. Opening series of this big ball game, number 1 against number 6. Schmeling on the wing to the right side. Chris Smith is in there. Here's an option to read, and a keeper play by Crable trying to come back, counter run to the right. Got a little bit of a block from Chris Smith, but did not get in. They mark him down at the 1.
It's okay. I like the play call. It was a read option going to the left side. Crable decides to call his own number. There was enough room in there to advance the ball, and he wound up just shy, a yard shy of the goal line. I like the play call here. Keep it on the ground on 3rd and goal. And let's see if they can punch it in right here.
A year ago in Indianapolis, the Cougars spotted Marion a 14-0 lead, then shut them out in the second half, won at 31-24. Now, again, here's Green looking for running room and trying to cross the plane on the goal. I don't think he got in. He did not. Great defensive play that time.
They see that number. I think it was number 21, Joe, on that hit.
That's T.J. Kohner. There was a penalty flag thrown right at the 4-yard line, so hold on. We'll see what's going on. Cougars kind of backing away already.
After the play, a sportsmanlike conduct. Defense number 3. After the field goal, there's an automatic first down.
That's Nikai Poyser, the linebacker. Wow, that's a big situation. That's his first no, so to speak.
Oh boy, and it's early too.
Now we're going to see Dylan Hunley check into the ball game. Schmeling leaves, so it'll be first and goal now from the 1.
Boy, that was a huge penalty, Joe. Oh my heavens.
They were going to force a 4th down. Hunley up on the slot to the right side. A lot of movement defensively. Here now is a run up the middle. Let's see, did they get in for the touchdown? No indication yet.
He's in. Come on, fellas.
There
it is.
Finally, took him a while to determine, but Crable from a yard out, and the Cougars capitalizing on that 91-yard kickoff return by Matt Komakevich. They draw first blood here at home and lead it at the 12:48 mark at 6-0.
Well, again, fantastic job. The Cougars are going to have to play well in all facets: offense, defense, and special teams. Komakevich did a fine job setting up the offense, giving them a very short field. They kept it on the ground. Nice power football on display, and they punched it in.
Gavin Gardner with a right-footed kick splits the uprights. Gardner now is 23 of 25 on the year. 7-0 Cougars have got the early lead. We'll step out. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM. Okay, Joe, to stay alert because, like I say, time to time we may change up on you depending on game situations.
Corey, just a reminder that if you got something down there as the offense comes off and you hear them, let us know something.
You'll have a Bishop Lures at some point. Back at Darcy Stadium with Sean McBride, I'm Joe Parson. Funny story about Matt Komikevich. I know we've told this a couple of times, but last year Justin Green was doing all the kick returns. He had a case of stomach cramp, shall we say. They couldn't find him on the bench. Young freshman Matt Komikevich was called upon, and all he did was return the kickoff 84 yards for a Cougar touchdown. Talk about timely.
Yeah, and again, he was very close this time as well. He was just running out of gas. Again, if you have to sprint down a 100-yard field, I'd be out of gas too, but just a tremendous return by Komikevich.
So now the Cougars will kick it away from left to right. End-over-end kick is coming down at the 10. It'll be returned right side across the 20 to the 25, and across the 30-yard line is where Marion will start first and 10, right up close to the 34, 35-yard line, where the Knights offense will come out to have their first snaps of the ball game.
That'll be interesting, Joe. Will we see the junior 6'4", 210 Luke Johnson or the freshman Frankie Young coming out? Unfortunately, Joe and I were talking about beforehand, the jerseys for Marion really are just terrible. It's very difficult to see these numerals on the white jerseys here.
First down on their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who is starting at quarterback, and we'll have to check it, but I think it's not Luke Johnson.
It's not Frankie Young either. Corey Kitchen getting back to us here. It looks to be, is that number 18?
Yeah, that's Ethan Darter. Darter, a 6'6" junior out of Lake Central and Schererville. He has seen some action, but not recent.
He's not even on the 2-deep roster.
So here's going to be a second down. Salary again trying to run off tackle to the right side, and he's got a first down up close to midfield. Works out to about the 48-yard line. So Ethan Darter, get a chance, we'll try to see some of the numbers. I don't think he's taken a snap this year, though. Sean, they'll spot it at the 48. It'll be first and 10. 7-0 St. Francis on the 1-yard plunge into the end zone by Matt Crable. And here's Darter now looking left side, throws the ball, and there's a diving attempt for it at midfield. Are they going to rule it a catch? They're going to give him another yard to the Cougar 49. Wow. Laying out for it, that was a nice job by Greg Miller. He's a 6'2" sophomore, had one catch for 14 yards last week. Now Johnny William, he is the guy you've got to watch. He will be in the slot to the right side. That's a gain of 4 yards, and second down and 6 coming up for Marion. Empty backfield now. No, they do have a protector in, and they hand the ball off. Here's Salary looking for running room, and rumbles to his right inside the Cougar 45. And Marcus Stepp tried to get a hand on him, and that'll bring up second down. Yeah, let's see, it'll bring up third down and about a yard and a half, maybe closer to 2 yards.
Yeah, nice push up front by Marion. They've got a good stout offensive line there, and they're getting some good action right on the ball.
Knights trying to reach the USF 42-yard line on this third down call coming up. Last week in the win, they were 6 of 14 on third down conversions. Salary again, straight up the middle, tripped up and still rumbles for the first down. They only lost the football, but they'll have it down to the 39-yard line.
Joe, I'm looking here on their stats for Marion. I don't have Darter down for any passing yards or any rushing stats whatsoever.
Yeah, he saw action last year. I do remember him. In fact, at one time was a starter. As memory serves, I thought he got nicked up some, but called upon. Luke Johnson apparently not available. Luke went out of the game last week, and the freshman, Frankie Young, came in and did throw a touchdown. Salary again looking to roll off tackle to the right side and running with abandon as USF not able to lay a glove on him, and he's all the way down to the Cougar 29-yard line. They'll move the chains again, another first down.
Yeah, right tackle Tyler Lott, 6'4", 275-pound. He's a redshirt sophomore for Marion, doing a fine job clearing his lane and getting that D-end out of there and giving Salary a lot of room to run.
Despite the 24-6 win last week at home over Olivet Nazarene, Marion managed just 79 yards on the ground. They have come out with an intent and purpose, as here's a throw coming to the left side. That's a catch made by William, but that is well defended by USF for a short gain.
Right there on the stick, number 24, the Cougars doing a fine job. And Schumacher just sniffed it out, came right to him, and stuck him for no gain after the catch.
Nonetheless, it's going to be a pickup of about 5 yards. Second down and 5 as the clock approaching 9.5 minutes, time remaining in the opening quarter. Darter barking out the signals. He's a big kid at 6'6", Short drop, looks over the middle, got a man, and the ball is caught and then dropped. They had the play set up with the quick slant down the middle, but dropped that time, and that'll now bring up third down.
I think that was
Greg Miller.
Greg Miller on the attempt right there. He had the ball, just couldn't contain it, was hit and separated.
Johnny William in the slot to the right side. Once again, he's got double coverage on him. Now they back away. Play clock still shows 21. Darter checking the Marion sidelines if they want to adjust the play call. At the 24-yard line, Knights trying to tie up the ball game. Darter looks to throw again. Has time in the pocket. Throws to a spot, tipped in the air and dropped. That might have been 6 the other way. What a great play. Just converging on the ball was Stan Jackson, and he had a lot of green in front of him, but he couldn't find the handle.
Yeah, he started to run before he had the ball. Stan Jackson sniffed that out. The quarterback was staring down at the receiver. You can't do that against Stan Jackson. He'll pick you off every day. But that time he got a little over anxious, and again, just an incomplete pass.
They will try a field goal. Matt Plesac, one of the best in the business. He's 5 for 5, has had a long, well, last week hit one from 24. This from 41 yards out, trying to drive the ball on the way, and it is no good. Pulled it left, and that's news. He had not missed either an extra point or a field goal, but it remains 7-0 USF, and the Cougar offense will check back on the field.
Well, fantastic job by the USF secondary right there, shutting that drive down. When the field got short, they went to the pass, and both the defenders Schumacher and Stan Jackson coming up with 2 huge plays right in a row.
St. Francis will take over at its own 24-yard line now, moving left to right. Grable's run for the touchdown set up by the 91-yard kickoff return by Matt Komakevich. Schmeling checks into the game. He'll be positioned, flanked out in the slot to the left side. I believe that's Rocky James split wide of him. Now Rocky comes in motion, creating tandem receivers. And here is Crable trying to hand the ball off. And there's going to be, I got to believe, a horse collar.
No, it's a face mask. That's going to be the 15-yard penalty.
P.J. Dean was the ball carrier coming in. Referee Jeff Gwynn will sort things out for us.
Turn to run, personal foul, face mask. Defense number 6. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down.
A week ago, Marion had 10 penalties for 78 yards. That's about their season average. They're averaging 79 a ball game. And of course, at the opposite end is St. Francis, Sean. They had 13 penalties for 135. That actually is an improvement over 2 weeks ago. They were averaging 144.5 yards a game in penalties, dead last among all NAIA football teams. But penalty now favors USF. They've got it 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line. 2 safeties back. Marion shows blitz. Crable to throw. Steps up in the pocket. Throws right side looking for Rixey. Up, and that one is nearly intercepted. Just under threw the ball, but it falls incomplete. Comer, I believe, had his hands on the ball but could not make the interception. And 2nd and 10 as the Cougars dodge a bullet.
Yeah, great coverage that time by Marion, step for step, right in stride with the receiver. And Rixey just was not going to be able to pick that one out of the air. That previous play, Joe, that was a really flagrant foul against that big D end, Mac Dutra, and I'm glad they were able to call that one.
P.J. Dean stays in as the running back. He's offset to the right side of Crable out of the shotgun now. 2nd down and 10. Again, looking at the blitz, and here's Dean, starts left, and he's going, steps out of a tackle, gets a gain up to about the 47. I mean, there was nothing there. He had to defeat 2 would-be tacklers.
And he did. Arm tackling is not going to bring down P.J. Dean, and that's evident right there. How he turned a silk purse out of a sow's ear right there is just incredible. Good hard-nosed run.
But now it brings up 3rd down. Last week, USF in Chicago was 7-16 for 44%. They are still number 1 in the MSFA, 27-56 on 3rd down conversion opportunities of great 48% average. They've got to reach the 48 of Marion now. Corners come up in the press coverage on the outside for Marion. 2 safeties back as Crable wants to throw. Looking, steps up, avoids the rush, flank to his right, got to get rid of it, and steps out of bounds back around the 40-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to be a sack right there. We'll call that really a covered sack as he continually looked downfield as he was trying to evade the tacklers. Got spun around and just, it wasn't there. So he steps out of bounds. And a punt coming up for the St. Francis Cougars.
Big fella chasing him was Christopher Oakley. He's a sophomore, goes 270. Had 7 tackles on the year, 3 sacks, and 3.5 tackles for loss. So Joe Numper, who really punted the ball well last week in Chicago, waits for his first attempt of the ball game at the USF 28-yard line. Needs a good snap, got it. No rush. Beautiful spiral kick. We saw a lot of that wobbly ball. That is fairly caught back inside the 15-yard line. So Ethan Darter and the Marion offense will check back into the ball game. Still USF on top early on at 7-0.
Well, St. Francis winning the field position battle so far early on in this contest. Nepper, the standout from Dwenger, just put a huge leg into that one, and now they are trapped deep in their own territory.
Checking that Marion offense coming out. Darter a little bit of the surprise starter. The absence of Luke Johnson. Expected to see freshman Frankie Young, who played when Johnson went out of the game against Olivet Nazarene last week. But Darter's in there, the 6'6" quarterback, looking to hand the ball off. His salary hauled down at the 14-yard line.
Nice job that time. I believe that was Thornberry, number 54, who was able to shed his block just enough to get a paw out there on him and drag him down.
Thornberry, a sophomore, goes 238, had 2 tackles in Chicago, 2 quarterback hurries. Gain of 1, second down and 9. Salary offset to the left side, long count. Salary working right off tackle. And tackled across the 15, got another couple of yards up to the 17-yard line. It'll bring up a 3rd down call now for Marion.
Yeah, 3rd and long coming up here. And we see St. Francis going to a 4-down lineman set on that play. It'll be interesting to see what they do here on 3rd and long. Looks like 3-down linemen this time.
Jared Clark wide to the left side. Darter looks right. Penalty flag is thrown. And the ball is fought for, knocked away by Wilmer Cole nicely. Let's check that penalty flag back around the Marion 19-yard line.
I believe that's going to be an offsides against the USF defense. The hard count, I think, drew the nose tackle across the line. Won't be enough of a first down.
Defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty, 3-point down.
Was 3rd and 6. That'll bring up 3rd down and 1 with 6:26 remaining in this opening quarter. 7-0 USF after the great start and the kick return by Matt Komakevich. Darter brings his team up to the line of scrimmage. Got tandem receivers off the wingback side to the right. Looking to Salary to get the yard. He's wrapped up, but didn't get there initially. They've not blown the whistle. They're going to mark him down at the 24. That is close, but let's see. It's going to depend on the spot of the ball.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the officials, Joe. That's exactly what it's going to do. Yeah, I think they're calling for a 4th down.
Let's go down and check in with down on the sidelines with Corey Kitchen.
In punt formation, 43, Luke Crane. Keep the Cougars, number 1, Matt Komakevich.
You know, again, that's true. I want to stress, though, that this is not your typical sub. He's had experience. Kick us away, not all that long. Comes down, Komakevich trying to find the handles and fumbled the ball, picked it up at the 20, and he was buried but held on to the ball. Matt took a chance, Sean, trying to pick up that bounding ball that was well to his right. He had to run about 20 yards to come up with that bounding ball.
Yeah, he's aggressive. He wants to make that play, and he was right at the sideline. He likes that sideline because the last time he was able to run one back deep into Marion territory. This time, he got blasted. Well, folks, just a reminder, the Bishop Lewis High School opened its doors in 1958. Join Bishop Lewis as they celebrate 60 years of Catholic education. You can visit their website at bishoplewis.org.
Looks like the Cougars will bring Justin Green back in now as the running back offset a little bit behind Crable to his right. Matt barking out the signals now, looks to Justin Green. Green off tackles, steps out of one tackle, runs over one, got out to about the 24, maybe the 25-yard line. That'll be gain of 5.
You got to like that because the safety had to make the tackle. Green, again, dancing through that linebacker core and using a good stiff arm to bounce outside, and the safety had to come up to make the stop.
Green went out in the second half of the USF Illinois game. Now Casey Call is going to check into the ball game. Brickens comes out of there. 2nd down and 5. Cougars trying to reach their own 30-yard line. Green comes in with 34 carries starting the ball game, 164 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Crable works from the left side hash mark, 3 wide to the right. Short drop, looks, checks off, scrambling back to his left, throws on the run, high ball, incomplete. Rocky James was open, calling for it, but very difficult as Crable running to his left and trying make the right hand throw.
Yeah, very difficult that time. He was scared. He was running for his life back there, and yet at the same time still had some poise to look downfield. But again, he had to get those hips opened up and square those shoulders and try and make that throw, and it just sailed on him.
3rd down and 5. USF trying to reach their own 30-yard line with 4:45 remaining in the opening quarter. Fast-moving ball game so far. This time USF shows 2 wide to the right side. Shotgun formation for Crable. Looking to his right, didn't like what he saw and calls a timeout. So we'll step out. 4:45 remains in the quarter. 7-0 Cougars against Marion, number 1 against number 6. And we'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM.
Pro has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Back at Darcy Stadium with Sean McBride and Corey Kitchen. I'm Joe Parson. Corey from the Winger department, the sports team actually, right?
He's
working with you.
With me on Friday nights, Joe.
Well, everybody's got to be somewhere,
Thank you.
We mentioned Concordia with a big win earlier today at Lindenwood Belleville, 71-0. That's what USF faces next week in Ann Arbor. Some of the other games, Taylor hosting St. Xavier. That's a night game in Upland. And Siena Heights is 4-0. And 1-4 Missouri Baptist, they are idle. 3rd down and 5. Here's Crable, looks right, looking, steps up, and dumps the ball off, and that's a drop ball by Call. Had it in his hands, but again, it'll be 3 and out, and USF will have to punt the ball away.
Yeah, that's a tough one. He was dragging across the middle after they opened up that zone, and Crable was not in the best position to make that throw, but it was catchable, and that's a disappointment right there.
So Joe Nepper comes in once again. Nepper had 7 points last week in Chicago, averaged just under 41 yards a punt, and that includes the 1 block punt that was returned for a kickoff. He's had a long this year of 48 yards. Waits at the USF 12-yard line. 1 back and punt return for Marion. No rush again. Kick is away. Nice spiral kick. Fair catch is called at the 38-yard line. Marion will have the ball, trailing at 7-0 in very good field position with 4:34 remaining here in the opening quarter.
Corey alluded to this when we went to him to begin with. This quarterback here, again, he's got experience, maybe not this year, but they've started him out with some hitches, some high percentage passing, but then this last drive, they've really just kept it on the ground after twice it was nearly picked. So it'll be interesting to see if they're going to try his arm again through the air.
I think they brought in Wesley Cook now as the running back offset to the right side. He'll try his luck on the first carry and runs across the 40 up to about the 42-yard line. Wesley Cook, he's a 5'10 junior, does lead Marion in rushes with 43 coming in, 205 rushing yards, a couple of touchdowns. He had 15 carries last week for 41 yards.
Yeah, they've got dual threats back there with Salary and Cook. Both have very good numbers and a similar running style. So, again, they can keep some fresh legs in there and keep grinding it out.
Jared Clark, the lone wide to the near side. That's the left. Now they've got a wing back up, actually a tight end. And here's Clark, starts left, now checks off, runs right, and boy, got nothing. Maybe right back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
Yeah, Harness was right there at the bottom of the pile. He shot that gap and was able to just shut that down immediately, and no gain on the play whatsoever. Great job.
Miles McClendon also had some penetration across the line of scrimmage as well. Ethan Vanover in the front line defensively. Hurry up offense now for Marion. They'll back away with still plenty of time on the play clock. We're at 20.
Looks like USF has really gone to a 4-man front on 2nd down regardless of the look, and it's really paid off early so far.
Now they have 3rd down and 4. Speaking of Marion, Darter out of the gun. Looking blitz being shown. Here's Darter, loads, throws to the right side, and that one incomplete. And you got to believe that we will see Luke Frayne come on to punt the ball away now for the Knights.
Again, nice job by the USF defense forcing a 3-and-out that time. And again, these two teams just trying to find their way down the field, trying to put a drive together. And it's been difficult for both squads so far here in the first quarter.
You know, Sean, to get the feeling, other than that explosive kickoff return, this is a game pretty much dominated by the defenses, respectively.
Right.
Frayne waits inside his 30. High snap has got it, though. Kick is away. A wobbly ball that drives Rixey back. He'll have it inside the 5. Rotating to the right. Got a block. 10, 15, 20. 25, and then hit from behind. Got close to the 30-yard line. That is where the Cougar offense will go back to work offensively with under 3 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. 7-0 USF, ranked number 1.
Well, that was a breath holder right there. He had to go back. That was a beautiful punt. Go back inside the 5-yard line. How he got out to the 32-yard line. Oh, they're going to mark him at the 30. But still, just a tremendous return that time. Nice blocking. Special teams doing a fine job for USF so far.
Frayne, by the way, has had a long punt of 48. He averaged just under 39 yards a punt last week at home in the win over Olivet Nazarene. Dylan Hunley up in the slot to the left side. Split wide to him will be Will Chrisman. So 6'6" Frame. And blitz coming up the middle by Marion. Here's P.J. Dean trying to feel his way to the left side. And he runs into a wall. He's going to lose the yard. The ball may pop free. Marion thinks they've got it.
I think they're marshaling second down instead. Signal goes up with 2, so yeah, no loss of ball that time.
This is an aggressive, scrambling, they fly to the ball defense for Marion.
Yeah, great pursuit that time, just taking it completely horizontal down the line of scrimmage and hitting him. That's going to be a tackle for loss.
Rocky James now comes wide to the right side, Schmeling slot right. Chris Smith in there, the wingback off to the right side. That's the wide side of the field. And here is Crable, rolls to the right, buying time, being pursued from the blind side, pulls it down, he's going to be sacked way back around the 21. You just do not have that kind of time.
So it looks to me that St. Francis is trying to go vertical at this point, and it's just not happening. The pocket dissolves too quickly. That was a designed rollout anyway, and they caught him from the backside. So going vertical at this point does not look to be a good game plan for USF.
Big loss will bring up 3rd and 18 with the ball back now at the 22-yard line. So the Knights trying to keep the Cougars from reaching the USF 40-yard line on this play coming up. We're down to 95 seconds remaining in the quarter. B.J. Dean stays in. He's offset to the left side. 2 wide to the left. Crable barking out the signals. Rolls left. Right-handed passer looking. Now throws the ball on the way, and then nobody home that time. Just aired it out into the Marion bench on the sideline. So to bring up 4th down, and once again, Knepper will have to punt the ball away. Let's go down and check in again with Corey Kitchen.
On the punt for the Cougars, number 42, Joe Knepper. Lead for Marion, number 84, Ben Stevens.
Yeah, great coverage that time for Marion so far.
Knepper now waiting for the snap, and he'll run up to the football about the 10 to punt it away after this. They come up, pressure up the middle. Again, the beautiful wobbly ball this time, and it will be returned that time the right side as Marion rotates back inside the 30-yard line. That cost them as they'll have the ball back around their own 26-yard line. That was Ben Stevens. He took a look, he thought about calling fair catch, says, you know, I'm going to give it a try, and he gave up about an extra 5 yards.
Yeah, at least. I would say more like 7, it looks like. But anyway, great job. Again, special teams really shining for the USF Cougars so far early on in this contest. Great punts, good pursuit, and good open field tackles.
Cougars right now show 3 down defensive linemen, including Matt Swartz and James Jamisic. As Ethan Darter, from our standpoint, the surprise starter at quarterback tonight for Marion. Looks like salary back in there. Play action fake, they'll throw the ball. And here's William, escapes 1, lost the football. USF's got it. Here's Ryan Johnson as he tries to return it. And now we got penalty flags coming
Yeah, that's going to be another personal foul, variety face mask against Marion. If in fact I have the call right, he dragged him down by the face mask after the fumble recovery. So that should be 15 yards after the spot of the foul, and USF should be set up for business inside the red zone.
Johnny William had the short gain after the catch, but then coughed it up, and Ryan Johnson, who had the 31-yard pick six.
There's an interception. During the return, personal foul, face mask during the passing team. For the 15-yard penalty to the end of the line.
That goes on Jaron Bush, the face mask penalty, tack on 15 yards. So USF will have it in the red zone with just under a minute remaining in this opening quarter, leading it 7-0.
Joe, so far, 3 penalties against Marion, 1 an unsportsmanlike conduct, and 2 15-yard face masks against the Marion Knights so far. And USF will be set up inside the red zone.
1st and 10, Cougars have got it at the Marion 17, try to extend the 7-0 lead. 2 protectors in now for Crable as he waits to take the snap. Looks to hand the ball off. Justin Green cuts it, breaks it to the outside. He's got it gained down close to the 10-yard line before being pushed out of bounds.
Good, nice conservative run that time. Green decides to take it to the outside where he did have some separation and some room and get some positive yards as we are inching down to the end of the first quarter here.
See if we get another snap off. As Green now checks out of the ball game, P.J. Dean stays in. And the Cougars break huddle. Rocky James in wide to the left side. Komakevich is in. He's tight to the right. Chris Smith kind of scooching down, one of the protectors. And here is a give. And here's a counter run to P.J. Dean, feeling his way down close to the 5-yard line. May not have reached there. We'll see where the spot is. Clock stopped with 18 seconds. I believe he's got the first down, though.
It looks like it. It should be a 1st and goal coming up off of Dean's run that time.
Well, the clock continues to run. And they've got 2nd down and 4, so we may not get another snap off before we trade ends. We're down to 3 seconds as Crable won't get the play off. So it'll be 7-0 at Darcy Stadium after 1. Number 1 ranked USF has got the lead, but a tenuous lead on 6th ranked Marion. We'll be back. End of quarter, 1 minute timeout. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM. 1 minute, sir, 1 minute.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Choose from over 60 vehicles under $10,000. Visit drivekelly.com. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
You'll have a Tim Didier read at some point. With Sean McBride, I'm Joe Parson. Welcome back to Darcy Stadium, and it will be 1st and goal at the 7-yard line for St. Francis, trying to stretch a 7-0 lead. And nothing really has come easy other than that opening kickoff, Sean.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Again, it's a battle of the defenses at this point. So again, the strongest will survive. I like USF chances right here, coming out with a little different formation.
Will Chrisman in, he's tight to the left side. And Komakevich in motion, right to left, but they'll give the ball to Chris Smith. And it was the second back through. Crable Kemper.
Yeah.
Matt getting inside the 5, down to about just outside the 3, I believe. Matt Crable coming in with 28 carries, 56 yards. He has 2 rushing touchdowns, one of which came last week in Chicago. That ball is marked closer to the 4. So 2nd down coming up. In a tight formation to the right side hash mark. Motion back to the left side as Crable wants to throw. Looks, throws, and in traffic. Is the ball caught? It was. Touchdown. Rocky James went down on his back. I couldn't see if he kept possession, Joe, through the ground, but it will be a 4-yard touchdown toss from Matt Crable at the 14-19. So the Cougars extend that lead out to 13-0. Let's go down and check in with Corey. By the way, the Cougars are short of man now. The play clock is down to 6. Gardner gets set with 4, with 3, with 2. Here's the snap. Here's the kick on the way. Looks good, is good. 14-0 USF on the 4-yard touchdown pass. So the Cougars on the board again. And should I remind you, it was 14-0 Marion that game a year ago in Indianapolis. Cougars went back and shut them out and won that ball game. Let's hope it's not going to happen here today. We'll take a timeout. This will be a 30-second break, and this is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM.
And that Rocky James touchdown was brought to you by Fort Financial Credit Union.
Yeah, we're fighting things here.
Kicking off for the Cougars, number 87, Gavin Gardner.
Come up at halftime, you will be having our Shawnee Construction halftime show. But so far, things going well, and Crable found Rocky James, and I tell you what, he was right on the back line and falling down kind of as he caught the ball. Just a question whether he was going to maintain possession through the ground. Now Gardner teeing it up. We'll kick it away from right to left as we look at it, high end over end. And that's coming down. It'll be returned at the 14-yard line, across the 20-25, cutting to the left side. And there's a good run across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. So a good return that time. And it will be Marion with excellent field position now, trailing it though 14-0.
Again, just got the first quarter stats here. Interesting from Bill Scott. Both teams had 16 plays in the first quarter, Joe. So again, very evenly matched. Again, the defenses for both squads really coming out and pulling their weight.
Schumacher back deep along with Jalen Moss, the twin safeties back there. Again, USF shows blitz. They'll run the ball Salary up the middle and pushing the pile up short of midfield, but across the 48-yard line. And Charles Salary, looking at him, he's 5'7", Sean, only at 185, but leads the Knights coming in with 265 rushing yards. Had 14 carries last week for 72 yards.
You know, he's kind of a mix of both, if you will, Joe. He's a good power runner because of low center of gravity, but he does have a good jump step and can cut.
Picks up 5, 2nd and 5. Darter looks to hand it off, and there's Salary, cuts it out and fell down. Back at the 49, pounds the ground in disgust with his right hand. He'll get another yard, but he was thinking first down.
Yeah, that was a break for the USF defense right there, because again, if he does make that cut, he's got the first down and more.
Now it's Marion trying to reach the USF 47-yard line, and they've got 3rd down and 4 coming up. They'll work from the left side hash mark, 2 wide to the right. That's the wide side of the field for Darter. Out of the gun. Barks the signals. Short drop. Looking. Being pursued. Throws to the left, and there was a lot of contact out there. And there comes the penalty flag.
Yeah, Marcus Stepp is actually out there without his helmet on, talking to the officials. We've got 2 flags out there. The receiver was actually down on the ground. No chance to catch that one. I think this one's going to go against Stepp, regardless of his pleas.
One might raise the argument possibly offensive pass interference. I don't think that one's going to prevail.
Defense, number 31.
Yeah.
Spot foul, automatic first down.
And that's a spot foul.
Coming off during the play.
So that'll move the ball down to the Cougar 38-yard line. With 13:03 remaining here in the first half. New life for the Knights, who trail at 14-0. Darter,
12-yarder there.
Darter keeps Salary in, offset to the left side, hands the ball to him again, curls up the middle, and still driving inside the 35 down to about the 33-yard line. Charles Salary just attacks the middle.
He does. He hits the hole very hard, and regardless if there's anything there or not, he really puts his shoulder into it. Again, he's got that great mix of power, but also agility as well. Dangerous player.
Wesley Cook now checks into the game. He's the other running back. As Darter looks to hand to Wesley Clark, who wants to work Cook, I should say, off to his left side. He won't reach the first down stick. Driven back. He got as far as the USF 31, close to that.
That he did. Pearson Hardish is in there along with a host of USF Cougars. Dutton was back there as well. I think he tried to go inside of his blocker, and he may have tried to stay outside, but again, not a lot of success there.
Let's call it third down and a short 3. Marion with the ball at their own, at the left side hash mark, I should say. And Darter trying to make a play right now. Would they go on 4 downs? Here's Salary back in. Here's a throw, and they've got a catch for a first down inside the Cougar 25. They'll spot it to the 22-yard line. Clark again on the catch. Jared Clark, he's a 6'3 junior. They've got a couple of big wideouts. Clark goes 6'3", as we mentioned. Also, Armstrong goes 6'2". And how about Brandon Dillon? They've not targeted him yet. He's 6'5". And he had 3 catches for 26 yards last week. Here's Salary again on the read option and kind of just falls forward inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line.
Yeah, couldn't find really any holes to go there. He tried to bounce it outside, but was nothing doing there as it was closing early, but still got some positive yards. Again, these guys with low centers of gravity, they're always running downhill, and they always seem to fall forward. And he picked up about 3.
Second down and 7 as we approach the 11-minute mark. Darter again out of the gun. Long count and looks to Salary. Salary curls upfield, fights for the 15-yard line, maybe gets another yard. Now they're going to mark the knee down back at the 15. Dutton, they credit being in there on the stop, among others. And that'll bring up third down and 4.
Looks like we've got a down player, Joe.
So we are going to have an injury timeout for USF, as we'll check the number when we return. 10:47 remains until halftime coming up. 14-0 USF with a stoppage down below. We'll have this 30-second break. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM. Ooh, that's Pearson.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
And under his own power, but very, very slowly. And that would be disastrous if USF was to lose him for any length of time. Let's see, we can get an update perhaps from Corey a bit later as they'll work on him. Meanwhile, here it's third down and 4. Position Marion at the USF 16-yard line. Clock is running. And Darter again waits. Cougars show blitz. Now they back away. Still 31 on the play clock. They've got all the time in the world to change the play call, and perhaps they do. Salary's in offset to the right side. Darter looks right, wants to throw into the flats. He's got a low ball that is apparently caught at about the 10-yard line. And that was Armstrong went to his knees, and they'll move the chains. That's good for a first down.
Yeah, nice athletic catch there, going down to the carpet and scraping it off there successfully. It was Armstrong, and that will be enough for a Marion first down.
That was kind of a safe call, Sean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now Armstrong comes wide to the left. As that becomes the wide side of the field, pistol alignment. Darter hands to Salary up the middle and blasts his way down close to the 5.
Put that defensive lineman right on his back for the USF Cougars. Never a good feeling, but again, he was there to plug the hole and limit the game.
Miles McClendon checks into the ball game now. So it'll be second down and goal from the 5-yard line. Now they check off. Again, checking the Marion sidelines. Darter and the rest of the offensive unit for Marion trying to cut the Cougar lead in half. Still exactly 9.5 minutes time remaining until intermission. Empty backfield now They reposition the tight end off to the right. Here's a run by Darter. Darter trying to go wide to the left side, giving ground, and is going to run out of room. Maybe got a yard to the 4, but that's it.
We got a flag on the far side of the field there too, Joe. And if it's, I believe it should be holding, but it came in a little bit late.
Referee tonight is Jeff Quinn. Still plenty of daylight here at about 6:45 at Darcy Stadium. And we've got standing room only here on the USF side of the stands.
Personal foul. Face mask, defense, number 21.
That goes on Ryan Johnson with a face mask call. So it'll be 1st and goal for the Knights. And the Marion crowd will cross the way, applaud. That'll move the ball down inside the 5 now. 1st and goal from about the 3. Empty backfield once again for Darter. I'm not sure Darter's in there. I think they were running a wildcat formation. Hard to see these numbers.
Yeah, that's terrible. It doesn't look like Darter.
No.
33.
We'll check it when we get a second. Here is the run to the right side, and they will have a touchdown. So on the wildcat, they snap that ball to Tristan Tante. Tante with a 3-yard touchdown run off to the right side.
Yeah, he's out of Warren Central. He's a sophomore, checking in at 6'1", 215. They have him listed as an H-back.
But running him on the wildcat, 3 yards on the touchdown run at the 8:54 mark. So Marion on the board and about to make this a 1-touchdown lead for St. Francis. Plesac trying to add the extra point. He's not missed this year and missed here. He missed a field goal, and now he's missed an extra point. And break out the news. That just doesn't happen with this young man. But it is 14-6 with a stoppage down below. We'll be back in 30 seconds at the Darcy Stadium. Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM.
That could be huge right there. And just grinding it out, keeping that high-powered USF offense off the field for quite some time, as we're now under 9 minutes to go here in the first half.
Kalmakewicz opened the ball game with a 91-yard return, set up the opening at 1-yard Matt Crable touchdown run. Give USF the early 7-0 lead. Now Plesac approaching and drives it, low line drive. Kalmakewicz comes up to it, fields it at the 6, 15, 20. And this time the gang tackle him short of the 25 is where St. Francis, or thereabouts, they'll start 1st and 10 at the USF 25-yard line.
It'll be interesting to see on this drive if, in fact, they try and change some things up from a strategy standpoint. Again, they tried to go vertical earlier. Really not a whole lot of success. Too much scrambling for Crable. He's not able to get set. The pocket dissolving too early. So let's see if they maybe try some quick hitters or just rely on Green and Dean to grind out a drive here.
Landon Myers comes out and comes immediately up to the line of scrimmage, ready to snap that ball to Matt Crable. Justin Green checks back in as the running back, offset to the left side. Here's Crable, wants to throw, and he's got Rocky James. He had to adjust in mid-air on that ball and does dive forward, trying the combination of catching the ball and picking up an extra yard to about the 31.
Yeah, better that the ball is thrown to his left rather than his right. He was able to stretch out an extra yard out there. And there we see the quick hitter as opposed to going vertical for something long.
P.J. Dean now comes into the ball game. But Justin Green stays in there as well. Empty backfield now, 3 wide to the right, 2 wide to the short side to the left. Marion trying to adjust defensively. Crable, long count from the line of scrimmage. Still 10 on the play clock. Here's Matt. Still waiting for the snap. He's got that high ball, airs it out right side in a screen as Green hurries for the first down, and he knew exactly where he had to go and just a yard deeper than the first down stick.
Yep, that's exactly right. That's Justin Green on display again. So now what we see, again, another quick hitter, little screen, get your playmakers open in space quickly and see what they can do with it.
Cougars shuttling fresh troops in. Out comes Dean. Back comes in Chris Smith. Smith, a junior, 225, has had 4 catches this year for 48 yards, so they've thrown to him on occasion. But now it's 1st and 10. 7:35 remains in the half. Here's the give, and Green stumbled and dropped. And I thought there was a penalty flag thrown.
Yep.
There was.
There's a penalty marker on the field.
This might be a procedure penalty against USF that will be declined.
Offense number 17. Penalty is declined. Result report.
That'll be a loss back to the 31-yard line. So a loss of 4, 2nd down and 14 coming up. Cougars trying to reach their own 45. Got a couple of plays to work with. Now Chris Smith comes out of the game. Schmelling's in there now. Dan Rixey's not seen the ball much tonight. He's wide to the right. They come up in press coverage on the outside on him. 2 protectors in for Crable. Here's Matt, short drop. Rush is coming, screens the ball. He's got Dean. Dean at the 35, cuts to his right. He will not reach the 40 though. Knocked down at the 39-yard line, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and about a 6 call coming up for St. Francis.
You know, I do like these play calls, these little screens. Again, get the open playmakers and make the defenders miss. He had some good blocking out front, got a lot of that yardage back. But still a nice test coming up for the St. Francis Cougars.
Nose of the football just inside the USF 40-yard line. They must reach their 45 on this snap. Schmelling stays in, slot left. Rocky James wide to the left. Man coverage out there now for Marion. Let's see if Crable can find somebody open. Looks, throws the ball in the out pattern. Schmelling too high for him. Had it on his fingertips momentarily, but the ball just kind of sailed on Matt. And USF's going to punt the ball away again with 6:25 remaining here in this 2nd quarter.
Boy, that was a tough one. Boy, if they could get that one back, that could have been a great 3rd down conversion to keep this drive alive, especially coming off of a Marion score. But unfortunately, the Cougars now have to punt the ball away and give it back to Marion.
So the Knights about ready to get the ball back. Nepper will punt it away from his own 26-yard line. And steps into it. Nice spiral ball. And that one, nobody back deep. It'll kick out of bounds somewhere inside the 15-yard line. And what a job by Joe Nepper again.
You know, I like to see him on the field, Joe, but not this often. That's all there is.
I hear you.
We want to see the Cougars in the end zone more often.
Thank
goodness he's there.
Had a little bit of extracurriculars going on around the 40-yard line, but I believe no harm, no foul with that. One of the Marion players was talking to one of the officials down there. That was Gibson Luga on the punt return team. But it will be 1st and 10 now for Marion at their own 12-yard line. Ethan Darter back in there now, sets up out of the pistol. Got Wesley Cook as the running back on the draw. He runs to his left and, well, ran right over. Is that Mitch Thornberry ran over? But it'll be a gain to the 15, maybe to the 16-yard line.
Yeah, Thornberry doing a fine job shaking his block off and able to twist that their running back right down right there. So still a good run, though.
Some days you got to do what you got to do to bring a guy down.
That's it.
Kind of bear hugged him and brought him down all in motion. Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. Darter again barking out the signals, looks and hands the ball off, straight ahead carry across the 15 to the 17. And a big 3rd down call coming up for Marion as we go down and check in once again with Corey Kitchen.
Tripped up by number 46, Caleb Summers of the Cougars. It's a 3rd and 5 from the Marion 17-yard line.
Yeah, I got to believe, Sean, it would take almost an amputation to keep him off the field.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He's a senior, happily married, got a baby at home. This is his last go-round. Short drop, Darter looks, throws to the left, got a man, no, too high. One-handed, they're going to call that a catch? They do, a one-handed catch.
Wow.
I thought that was going out of bounds. That was Brandon Dillon. We talked about him earlier at 6'5". He needed all that 6'5" frame to haul that in, and a new set of downs with under 5 minutes remaining in the half.
Boy, that was impressive right there.
That was big time. Darter looking to hand the ball off. Cook and cartwheels his way up to about the 25-yard line. Got a yard the hard way. Had to go airborne.
Stepp did a fine job. He was chopped right at the line of scrimmage, but still was able to keep a three-point stance and dive right at the running back and knock him off his route.
Marion's got all 3 timeouts remaining. St. Francis with 2. Clock shows moves inside of 4.5 minutes now. Time remaining in the second quarter. 14-6 USF. They scored the game's first 14 points. Marion missed an extra point by Plesac, if you can believe that. And here is Cook. It's a play action fake, and they've got a catch. That's Dillon. Dillon brought down at the 40-yard line. Lost the ball. They may rule him down on contact. They do.
Yeah.
It's no recovery by St. Francis. It'll be 1st and 10 for Marion at their own 40.
Yeah, good call. He definitely hit the carpet first and did a fine job on that deep slant right there over the middle. 4 down linemen were really coming after the quarterback that time, so there was plenty of room in the zone in the linebacker core to make that completion. Brandon
Dillon came in with 10 catches, 157 yards, and a touchdown. He knew it was just a matter of time before they would start going to that big target. Now they spotted at the 41, 1st and 10. Cougars show blitz, but a run. Cook starts right, cuts back to the left, noses up to about the 43, maybe the 44-yard line.
You know, regardless of which way the Barry Sanders-esque running back decides to go, that front 5 is getting a nice push off the line for Marion. So even if he has to change directions, he's going to get 2 or 3 typically.
Gave him a good spot of the ball up around the 44 or the 44-yard line. Clock at 3:15, time remaining. Darter works again from the left side hash mark now. 2 wide to the right, wants to throw. Looks, throws to a spot and a diving attempt for it. And what do they call, what do they rule here? They're going to rule it a catch for a first down at the USF 44. Cougars thought it hit the turf. Officials disagreed. And here comes Marion with a late drive. Under 3 minutes remain in the half. Darter brings his team up the line of scrimmage in a hurry. Cougars looking to apply pressure. Screens coming left side. There's some running room now. And a gain down to the USF 35 on that screen, and now a late penalty flag as well.
Yeah, that was definitely after the play, or very close to it. Thrown right in the middle of the scrum there. Maybe a late hit or a hold. Let's see.
Jeff Gwynn, referee tonight. Marion's backing up, though.
Yeah.
We'll get the confirmation coming up here shortly.
After the play, dead ball, personal foul, offense number 78. 15-yard penalty, playing 2nd down.
That's the second one on Jaron Bush. And that's going to cost them some real estate.
Yeah,
correction, the penalty is an unsportsmanlike conduct, 78. That's 78's first unsportsmanlike conduct towards disqualification.
Getting a little chippy down there, Sean, as that'll move the ball back to midfield. It'll be 1st down. Ball at the 50. Still 2:38 on the clock, and Marion still with all 3 timeouts remaining. Now they spread the field, 2 wide either side. Darter out of the gun. Barks the count and now changes up. Checks the Marion bench, still with 12 on the play clock. Running back offset to his left. Darter gives ground, looking, loads up, throws downfield. He's got a man, the ball is caught. That'll be a gain inside the 25-yard line down to the USF. And Johnny William on the catch.
Yeah, beautiful crossing route there, deep crossing route there by Johnny Williams. Plenty of time for the quarterback to get back there, set up, and fire that ball right down the middle. And nice throw and catch, and here they go, just outside the red zone.
Coverage that time by Keon Evans, who's checked in there. Now a run to the Marion to the 21-yard line. Trying to milk that clock, and again with 3 timeouts in their back pocket if necessary. Malachi Mannion credited with getting in there on the stop. Just a short gain of a couple of yards, 2nd down and 8. Johnny William up in the slot to the left side. Marcus Stepp showing will he blitz, and he will not. Here's Darter, looks to the corner, and that time Blake Schumacher had the inside position on the ball, but it sailed even over his head, incomplete.
Yeah, that was a timing route. Clearly, those two players were not on the same page, as the receiver was a good 5-6 yards to the inside of that throw. USF defender Schumacher had a better chance at that ball than the receiver did.
Now Mark Henniger may feel he's in 4-down yardage area at the USF 21. It'll be 3rd down and 8. And now it looks like Marion will take one of those 3 timeouts with 1:26 on the clock. 14-6 USF. Marion knocking on the door, though, when we return to Darcy Stadium. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM.
When you experience a sports injury, muscle, or joint pain, you want treatment right away. Parkview Ortho Express provides same-day orthopedic and sports injury care without referral or appointment, offering diagnostics, x-rays, the region's only body composition DEXA scan right inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Walk in Monday through Thursday, 7 to 7, Friday, 7 to 5, and Saturday, 8 to noon. For more information, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com/orthoexpress.
Stadium, as Marion wants to talk about their options, trying to reach right about the 13-yard line of St. Francis. In theory on this 3rd down call, but I got to believe that they do have a great kicker in Matt Plesac, but he did miss a 41-yard attempt earlier in this ball game. And right now, Sean, 14-6.
Yeah, and again, football fans, just a reminder, locally and family-owned for 35 years, Tim Didier Meats has built a reputation for fresh custom meat orders. If you'd like that special cut of beef for your next gathering, Tim Didier Meats can help. Prime rib, filet mignon, and Tim's own special ground beef made fresh daily can be ordered within an hour's notice. Give them a call at 482-8400.
Cougars really have not put much pressure on Darter. Marion's given up 5 sacks on the year, 4 of them last week. 4 of them last week by Olivet Nazarene. So you can get to him, but here's Darter wanting to throw. Looks, top of the pocket, throws to the left, and a catch is made. Now be close to the 1st down outside the 10 at the 11. I believe they're going to have, now they're going to move the chains. I'd have thought they were short.
He is a big target out there. Saw Harnish, he is back out on the field. He dropped back into coverage that time, but they threw it to his left side.
Hurry up offense now, and the Knights hurry up the line of scrimmage. Darter looking, hands the ball off. Here is Cook. Cook turns the corner, looking for the end zone. Did he step out of bounds? No, touchdown. That one good from 12 yards out. And that'll make it 14-12. And now will the Knights go for 2 with 59.7 seconds remaining?
This is a good question. Are they going to show some confidence in their kicker? It looks like they're going to line this one up, Joe. Doesn't mean they're going to go for the kick, but they're lining up for it.
Plesac is out there trying to make it a 1-point lead for St. Francis. Cougars scored the first 14 points of the ball game. Now the right-footed kick is on the way, certainly long enough. It looks good and is. So now Marion has responded with 13 in a row of their own, and only the missed extra point by Plesac, leaving USF on top by 1 point. We'll be back to Darcy Stadium after 30 seconds. 14-13, Cougars still hanging on. Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
Marion within 1 now, and St. Francis does have 1 timeout remaining, but I would expect that they will be very cautious, very conservative here in the late going of the second quarter as we get ready for our Shawnee Construction halftime show coming up.
This is very well scripted by Marion to go into the halftime break, assuming the last one to score here being down by 1 point and then getting the ball back to start the third quarter.
Plesac approaches, kicks the ball away down deep. And Kamakevich at the 1, brings it out across the 10, working up the middle. cuts across the 15 and out to about the 17-yard line. So we'll see what Matt Crable is inclined to want to do with this late series. The scoreboard still shows Marion with 3 timeouts, but I'm pretty sure they took 1, maybe not. St. Francis with 1 remaining, and huddling up now, Cougars with their offensive unit. Well, the other scores we mentioned, the one we had was Concordia with a big win, a huge win at Lindenwood Belleville, 71-0. We'll be in Ann Arbor next Saturday with a 1 o'clock kickoff against the Cardinals. They were upset by Robert Morris a week ago, 7-0. So it's been a little case of feast or famine.
St. Francis has to burn their last time out.
Timeout, St. Francis. Their third and final timeout of the half.
Oh dear.
Not sure what that happened there. Some problem on the field. We'll keep things right here.
There's no flag.
Yeah, so what we don't want to happen here is because, again, with 3 timeouts remaining, USF really could use a first down here to get out of the shadow of their own end zone because, again, Marion can stop the clock between these plays, and if they do a fine job on defense and limit these gains, they do have a last-second chance at a strike to the end zone before the first half is over.
And even a long field goal would give them the lead.
Right.
So USF, it was all rosy at the start of this ball game. Not so much now, as Marion starting to put things together. Momentum perhaps changing for the white and silver of Marion. So Crable out there now. 2 protectors and actually 1 protector. That's Justin Green off to his right. They'll run the ball with Green, looking for running room. Starts up the middle, pushes the pile out to the 25. There's that P.J. Dean in there. I thought it was Justin Green. We'll check it when they get up from the pile.
That was Dean, yeah. Dean doing a fine job being very patient, waiting for his blocks to happen, and then a nice little step back to the middle.
Marion not using a timeout, clock running down inside of 30 seconds. A little surprise, Sean.
Yeah, a little bit.
That was a gain of 6, so 2nd down and 4.
They might be content just going into the locker room trailing by 1.
Grable now looking to hand the ball off. Dean again starts right and then drilled. Did not reach the 25. They may give him a spot to the 25, and that's going to do it. Don't believe Marion will use any of those timeouts, and the teams will head to the halftime dressing room. So a game of contrast, all USF. At the start, they ran the first 14 points of the ball game, but Marion has rallied with 13 of their own. Still anybody's ball game in this big matchup between number 6, Marion, and number 1, USF. We'll be back with our Shawnee Construction halftime show. We'll take a 1-minute timeout. 14-13 at the halftime break. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM.
Okay, when you experience a sports injury, muscle, or joint pain, you want treatment right away. Parkview Ortho Express provides same-day orthopedic and sports injury care without referral or appointment, offering diagnostics, x-rays, the region's only body composition DEXA scan right inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Walk in Monday through Thursday, 7 to 7, Friday, 7 to 5, and Saturday, 8 to noon. For more information, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com/orthoexpress.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Choose from over 60 vehicles under $10,000. Visit drivekelly.com. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Back at Darcy Stadium. Welcome back, everybody, with Sean McBride. I'm Joe Parson. Corey Kitchen is with us as well here tonight on the sideline, and a game of contrast. You looked at St. Francis. They got a huge lift on the opening kickoff as Marion won the toss, deferred. That put Matt Komakewicz back in kick return. He responded with a fine 91-yard stumbling run down to the 9-yard line, and Matt Crable would turn that into a 1-yard touchdown run for St. Francis at the 12:48 mark. Gavin Gardner would add the extra point, 7-0, Silver and Blue. Then after a Matt Plesac missed 41-yard field goal attempt, Cougars would get it back in the second quarter, and Matt Crable would go to the air, throwing to the back line, and Rocky James was there, falling down on his back. Just had to wait to see if he would control the football. He did. They rule it a touchdown, 4 yards from Crable to Rocky James at the 14-19 mark of the second quarter. Gardner again would add the extra point. Things looking pretty good for St. Francis. They were up at 14-0. But Marion, you know, they're a talented team, not ranked number 6 for no reason. As they would come back, they would go to the Wildcat. By the way, they started Ethan Darter at quarterback in place of Luke Johnson, who was banged up last week. Did not start here tonight. Luke Johnson did, but it would be a Wildcat formation down deep in the red zone, and Tristan Tante would carry the mail out of the Wildcat on a 3-yard run into the end zone at the 8:54 mark. Extra point was missed by Plesac. He was perfect on the year. He had been perfect on field goals, but he missed both here tonight, and as a result it was 14-6. But Marion not done. In the final minute, they would get a sweep to the left side by Wesley Cook, 12 yards into the end zone. This time Plesac did hit the extra point. That's where we are here at halftime in a 14-13 USF lead. We will take another timeout, and we'll come back as we'll bring Sean McBride in, and we'll take a look at some of the numbers of the first half, hopefully from Bill Scott. But you knew this was going to be a war. It has been a war between two top 10 ranked teams. Back in 1 minute, this is Cougar Playoff Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM.
This is the first time I've been able to do this kind of more complete understanding or view of your body. One of the things that's really important about this is that it's kind of legitimizing us as athletes.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on. Concussions. They're a concern for parents of athletes in any sport. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine is leading the way with the area's first concussion clinic. Our integrated sports medicine team utilizes an innovative, evidence-based approach to manage athletic-related head injuries in those 14 and older, providing comprehensive care to get the athlete you love safely back in play. To schedule an appointment, call Parkview Sports Medicine at 266-4007. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
Catholic University must have a passion for truth, and we trust in both the power of faith and the power of reason. Both come from God. May God bless this university as it continues to pursue truth on the wings of faith and reason.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Choose from over 60 vehicles under $10,000. Visit drivekelly.com. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Has got to find something down deep, because momentum definitely changed in that second quarter in favor of the Knights.
No, it surely did, and I think the adjustments were fairly obvious when we look at the Marion defense. They're being very effective at taking away the edge, and so when you take away the edge, then your linebackers can really keep up and creep into the interior line. And I kind of want to talk to Corey Kitchen about this too as we progress throughout the conversation here. But again, what they have done is taking away the running lanes from P.J. Dean as well as Justin Green. And we have seen coverage in the defensive secondary by Marion not allowing St. Francis that big play ability through the air. Because of too much pressure, again, edge pressure, backside pressure coming from their down linemen, and good coverage out there by Marion. So the long game isn't there for USF, and they've done a good job adjusting their downfield defense to take away those running lanes for P.J. Dean and Justin Green as well. Now, University of St. Francis on defense have really been put on their heels a little bit because the front five for Marion have really kind of exerted their will on the ground attack. We've seen some well-placed balls by this quarterback from Marion, but really it's the run game that has been impressive for me so far by Marion, especially in the second quarter, to make some good adjustments and really get a nice push off that ball. And so I don't know, Corey, if you've got your ears on down there, maybe you think I'm full of it, but that's what I'm seeing from up here in the booth. What are you seeing from down there on the sidelines?
Center ballroom. We conclude our list of DJ requests. Back on the field as USF Marching Pride and our high school guests perform one of the most commonly requested songs at receptions released within the last decade. Recorded by Lady Gaga. Please enjoy this exciting arrangement of Born This Way.
Kevin Donnelly, in talking about this game during the week, I asked him, what do you feel are the real keys here tonight? He pointed to two areas, Sean. He said that he felt that one of the keys would be how well do his young sophomore tackles on the offensive line deal with the very experienced and very talented defensive ends by Marion. That was one issue. The other issue was been in throwing the football. Yes, St. Francis has had some talented receivers in Rocky James and Dan Rixey, but how would they do against the upgraded cornerbacks by Marion? And both those areas have been kind of prophetic here tonight. I think the surprise is, I'm a little surprised because Marion had not rushed the ball all that well. As we mentioned, just 79 yards last week against Olivet Nazarene despite the win. But here tonight they've been able to establish something of a ground game with not only Charles Sallery but Wesley Cook, who came in and ran for that 12-yard touchdown at the end. So they've got something going. If they can couple that up with the air game, they will be tough to beat in the second half.
Yeah, they surely will. And Joe, this is kind of the problem for me last night at the Bishop Dwenger game that Corey and I called. We saw a very effective ground game. It was the Bishop's Bowl. Bishop Dwenger playing old school ball. It was power eye right, power eye left, or just a standard eye formation. But they grounded out, and they just grinded against Bishop Lures, and were able to come away with a victory. They couldn't pass, but the ground game was very effective. So, again, I don't want to call it boring football, but it's old school football, and I think we're seeing a lot of that on display here by Marion. Again, taking that clock away, keeping the USF offense off the field, and that second half was really owned, or second quarter, was really owned by the Marion Knights.
What's interesting, because we were expecting Luke Johnson possibly to start. He has been averaging over 290 yards a game through the air, the 6'4" junior. But as we mentioned, we were aware he went out of the game last week. The question is, would he or would he not start here tonight? He did not start. The expectation then, as they did last week, they went to the young freshman quarterback out of Hamilton, Ohio, Frankie Young, who came in, replaced Johnson a week ago, threw for a touchdown. But it was Dethan Darter who would come out, and he's kind of the old young veteran, if you will, because he had not, I don't think he's taken a snap so far this year, but in years previous he was kind of a staple to their offense at quarterback, and the 6'6" quarterback did respond. He managed the game, I thought, very well.
He did. Initially, again, we saw that Schumacher and another defensive back for Cougars, apparently Stan Jackson, nearly had a pick and almost a pick six early on, but that kind of dissolved. He found his rhythm, and he found the way to make the hitches, to make the curls, and then they opened it up a little bit more. And remember, again, the deep post over the middle, that was a great connection. And so his receivers are finding a way to get open, as he now has time back in the pocket to make those connections. So again, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the locker room for USF. Are they going to start dialing up some pressure? Are they going to try and get him out of his comfort zone? They've already brought 4 down linemen on second down. Will they continue to bring 4 down linemen on every down and just go to a front 4? These are going to be the interesting things that we're going to see when they come out of the locker room to start the third quarter.
You're kind of reading my mind, because I was wondering the same thing. Will they try to come up with some gimmick plays, maybe a safety or corner blitz, just to try to – you want, even though he has experience, he hasn't played in a while, and you don't want a quarterback that's having success to get too comfortable back there.
No, because that breeds itself. Again, that comfort breeds confidence, and that confidence breeds success. So, again, they have to do something with the quarterback back there. Well, folks, just a reminder, this is halftime presentation brought to you by Shawnee Construction and Engineering, a full-service construction firm that meets and exceeds expectations. With a 94% repeat and referral business, when they say partnering for a lifetime, they mean it. That's Shawnee Construction and Engineering, our halftime sponsor.
Halftime here at Darcy Stadium, 14-13, about as close as you could hope for. Cougars still on top by 1. We'll be back with more of our halftime presentation after this 1-minute timeout. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM. Joe, I'm not even watching the log. Are we kind of caught up, or are we where we need to be? Back at Darcy Stadium with Sean McBride. Let's turn things over to Sean with a look at the halftime numbers.
We'll take a look at the numbers for the visiting Marion University Knights here. We're going to run down some team totals here. University of St. Francis sitting at 14, Marion sitting at 13 here at our halftime break. For Marion, they've got first downs tonight of 13. On the ground, they've got 92 yards in the first half so far on 25 carries. Through the air, they've got 107 yards. We've got 11 completions on 15 attempts with no interceptions. So total offense for Marion, we've got 40 plays, 199 yards there. We've got 1 punt return for 9 yards, 2 kickoff returns for a total of 52 yards here. They did lose 1 fumble, 4 penalties on the night so far for the Knights for a grand total of 48 yards. Possession time, they do own it, 17 minutes and 35 seconds. This is a big stat right here. Third down conversions, 5 of 8. And they are 100% in the red zone with scores. Again, with 13 points on the board. Individually for the Marion University Knights on the ground, Charles Sallery has 14 touches for 58 yards and a long of 10, averaging 4.1 yards per carry. Wesley Cook had 9 touches for 30 yards, 3.3 yards per average. Tristan Tante had 2 touches for 4 yards. Through the air, Ethan Darter, the quarterback tonight, again, 11 completions on 15 attempts for 107 yards with a long of 27. He spread it out quite well. Johnny William had 4 catches for 45 yards. Brandon Dillon had 3 catches for 32. Greg Miller had 2 catches for 16. And Jared Clark had a catch for 9 yards. Going over for the University of St. Francis. Again, they lead by 1, but the numbers are misleading. First downs, they've only got 5 first downs, 17 rushes for 26 yards in the first half. Through the air, only 19 yards, 3 completions on 8 attempts with no interceptions. So total offense for St. Francis, 25 plays for 45 yards. They did have a fumble. Punt returns, they had 2 for 25 yards. Kickoff returns, they had 3 for 125, including Kamakevich with that big 90-yard return there. 4 punts on the night for Nepper, averaging 42.5 yards per punt. That is phenomenal. 3 penalties for 20 yards. Time of possession is lacking, 12 minutes and 25 seconds. No third down conversions on 5 attempts. That is a huge stat right there, but they are perfect in the red zone. Let's talk individually about the St. Francis Cougars here. P.J. Dean comes in with 6 carries for a net yards of 16 yards. Justin Green also had 6 touches for 13 yards. Matt Crable ran it 5 times for 9 yards. And through the air, again, Matt Crable 3 for 8 with no interceptions and a touchdown with a long of 9. He's thrown to Rocky James twice for 10 yards and a touchdown. P.J. Dean only once for 9 yards. And again, a big stat here, Joe Nepper being quite the weapon tonight, averaging 42.5 on punts, Joe. So that's the rundown of the first half numbers.
Well, you look at the one that jumped out at me, third down conversion chances. Remember, St. Francis among the best in the country, right around 48, 49%, but 0 for 5, limited by that Marion defense in the first half. And Matt Crable, desperately trying to find more time, trying to find open receivers, just 3 of 8 for 19 yards. He did throw a touchdown to Rocky James. Teams coming out. Let's take another 1-minute timeout, and we will be back waiting for Coach Kevin Donnelly to come out and the start of the second half. 14-13 USF on, and there's Coach out there. Tell you, let's hold on for a moment here, and let's see if we will take the break, and we'll be back with the start of the second half. 14-13 USF. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM.
All right, turn down the, here, hang on just a minute. Hey, Corey. Corey, you got your ears on? I don't hear Corey. Do you hear Corey?
Nope.
He shouldn't be on return. Okay, there you are.
Corey's there.
Hey, Corey, can you see if you can get with Coach?
I don't think I would do that.
Okay, never mind. Never mind. Sorry. All right, we just won't have Coach.
I don't want to hit him with strange.
All right. Sorry, you can adjust your return. Oh, really?
See your. Back here at Darcy Stadium, and we look, Marion had recorded 3 sacks in that first half, USF none. And that, again, you love to be in that locker room as with Kevin Donnelly trying to fire things up for USF. They didn't have much offensively, and fortunate that they've got this 1-point lead now as we get ready for the start of the second half.
Yeah, I think too, Joe, that what we're probably going to see is the Cougars come out on defense to start the third quarter. I think they are probably going to dial up some pressure packages and try and get that quarterback out of the comfort zone there. It might lend itself to a little bit of vulnerability, but they have to do something to get this guy out of his rhythm and shake things up.
Marion is something we don't often see, as we're just less than a minute away from the start of the second half. They are out with their calisthenics prior to the start of the second half. Meanwhile, the Cougars on the sidelines, and you know things were spirited in that locker room. And Mark Henniger telling his troops, hey, we've got them right where we want them. We're just down 1 here on the road against the #1 ranked team in the country. And Kevin Donnelly, the converse, saying, guys, we've got to pick it up. We've got to play Cougar football, both sides of the ball. We've got to execute, and we've got to make stops.
Yeah, the Cougars need a couple of breaks here to start the third quarter. You know, the first possession of the third quarter really does set the tone for the second half. It is so very important, and it's a big decision by these teams to make this, you know, when they defer, because they want to make the statement to come out here after the halftime break and start the second half their way. So now it's going to be up to the USF defense to start things out their way. And again, we expect Harnish to be back. He was back during the last series for the USF defense. And I think USF's going to have to be really good here on special teams. They have been so far in the first half. This one's going to count big. And then that USF defense is really going to have to come out and make some noise.
Cougars will kick it away from left to right as we look at it. Kevin Gardner will tee it up at the 35-yard line. 2 back and kick return for the Knights. They'll have first opportunity trying to play from behind here by 1 against #1 ranked St. Francis. Gardner approaches, hits it high, end over end. That'll be fielded back inside the 10. From the left side hash mark, here's a run to the middle of the field, and there was a train wreck right there at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, nice job that time by, again, the USF special teams doing a fine job coverage, limiting that gain. The long field coming up for Marion.
So here we go. Ethan Darter will check into the game. Very efficient, 11 of 15 through the air for 107 yards in that first half. Pinch hitting, if you will, for Luke Johnson, the 6'4 junior, unable to go tonight.
And I don't want to curse anybody, Joe, but only 3 penalties against USF in the first half. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's a far cry. 30 over the last 2 games. Here's a run off tackle, big hole, and have a hard time bringing Salary down as he rumbles out to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, again, Salary, he was designed to go left and then just runs right down that line to go right, and he's got some green acres on the backside of the run that time. And, yeah, USF is going to have to do a better job of containing those edges.
Picks up 7, second and short coming up as Darter out of the pistol now. Running back offset, they'll give it to him again, and there is a big hole, and Salary straight ahead across the 35 to the 36. Penalty? No, that's a ball that came loose.
Yep. So 2 plays and a first down for Marion, and they are trying to set that tone again with some good power and speed on the ground. And again, if in fact in 2 plays you can get 14 yards, why throw it? So
big offensive line for the Knights. They average 296 a man tackle to tackle. Darter on 1st and 10. They'll run again with Salary and trying to break it out to the right. Stopped at right around the 40-yard line. That still is going to be a gain of about 3 or 4. Looking at Tyler Lott, starting with Jaron Bush at the tackles, Chase Wilson and Andrew Wood at guards, and Dalton Button the center. Gain of 4, second down and 6. Marion in the second half have not put the ball so far in the air. It's been strictly the Charles Salary show. And he stays in, offset to the left side. Second down call coming up. Cougars expecting now. Here's a screen coming, and a catch is made at the 38, but USF snuffed that out. And a good play. Blake Schumacher got through there. Notice Ryan Johnson as well, and no gain. In fact, a loss back inside the 40 to the 39.
Yeah, that's almost like a little confidence builder type of play, just to get your quarterback back into that throwing motion, something a high percentage. And again, trying to get your playmaker open in space, but the St. Francis defense is much too fast for that.
Now Marion trying to reach their own 47-yard line on this snap.
Whoa.
A penalty marker on the field.
Penalties right at the snap of the football.
I think everybody knew the play count except for the center.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 86, 5-yard penalty, third down.
They whistle the penalty on Brandon Dillon. You know, when you're 6'5", 250, you are tough to be inconspicuous.
Yeah, that's right. No hiding for you.
Now the loss brings the ball back inside the 35 to the 33-yard line, and it'll be third down and 13. Still, Marion trying to reach their own 47 on this snap. Still 11 on the play clock for Darter. Works from the left side hash mark. Offset to the right is Salary. Here's a roll to the right side. Darter loads up, throws the ball, and wide and incomplete. And that will bring up fourth down. And Marion will have to punt the ball away.
Hats off to the USF defense. Of course, the penalty didn't help at all, but Marion didn't help Marion at all. But again, that's only 1 first down, and the defense holds.
Sean, I was watching Luke Frayne during the halftime warm-ups. He was punting the ball some 70, 75 yards. Now, again, no pressure out there. He'll wait inside his own 20-yard line, has 3 protectors back. Komakevich at the USF 25. Penalty flag is thrown as a booming punt. But here's Matt just make the catch and immediately tosses it to the official.
False start, offense, number 17, 5-yard penalty, fourth down.
Knights going to be penalized another 5 yards. So that'll move Komakevich up to about the USF 35. Now everybody moving back to the line of scrimmage.
On,
it's like a conga line.
Put the ball down.
And they'll spot it at the 29 where it's fourth down and 18. Still Frayne back there inside the 15 waiting for the snap for Marion. Got it to him. Rush is coming. Got the kick away. Komakevich calls fair catch at the 24. Lost the football. And Marion, I believe, is going to have it.
Unbelievable.
Still no indication. And we wait while the scrum continues, and finally it's going to be what? Marion's football, I believe.
Yeah.
Still no real indication by the officials.
There it is.
Finally.
Yep.
Jeff Gwynn points the other way, and Marion will have it first and 10 at the USF 29-yard line. So the first big turnover of the ball game against USF. And now Marion with a great opportunity trying to take the lead for the first time tonight.
Sudden change, Cougars. This is now the time to step up. Boy, oh boy. Just when you thought you could get off the field, you can't.
Darter looking now to take the play, hands to Salary, cuts to his right. Gets about 5 yards down to the 26-yard line. Jamisic in there, in on the stop.
Oh, and he comes up hobbled.
Actually, that's Ethan Vanover coming off limping.
Oh, yeah.
Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. 2 wide to the right now. Darter out of the gun. Has the snap, looks to hand the ball, sweep to the right side, and Salary, big hole as he runs for a first down all the way inside the USF 15. Angled run to the right side, and nobody was there.
Yeah, great job by that offensive line. Everybody went low as they tried to spread that out, and the defensive front three just collapsed, and it gave him a nice hole around the edge that time, and he was able to take it to the races.
It'll be 1st down and 10 at the Cougar 14-yard line, trying to capitalize on the fumble recovery. Darter again to Salary, and off tackle, and again, big hole. He's got a chance this time, and did he get inside the pylon? Touchdown. That will be a touchdown run of 14 yards, and St. Francis not happy with their defense that just kind of disappeared.
Well, yeah, again, it all started with the only hiccup so far on special teams, as the punt return was bobbled and gave Marion a short field. And boy, they took advantage of that one in a hurry.
All Charles Salary on that drive. This time left side into the end zone. Now Plesac on to try to add 1 to the Marion total. Right-footed kick is on the way deep enough, and it is good. And that will make it a 20-14 lead. So Marion, their first lead of the night here in Fort Wayne. At the 11:16 mark, we'll be back with a timeout, 30 seconds. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way. Offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
The touchdown by Marion.
You know, it's almost double jeopardy on that, Joe. They were coming off the field feeling very good about forcing the punt for Marion. They made a mistake, and Marion was able to capitalize, put points on the board off of a turnover, and that is exceedingly important in these huge games. You've got to capitalize on turnovers, and Marion did. So the Cougars have their backs up against the wall right now.
Stan Jackson is now back in kick return, waits at the USF 5. Here comes the kick. That's a booming kick, and that'll be 3 yards deep in the end zone. Jackson brings it out to the 5, trying to sweep to his left side. Got a block. 20, 25, 30. Gets by another. Trying to work back to the middle of the field across the 35 to the 37-yard line. And a little bit of energy injected by Stan Jackson.
Boy, oh boy, you love Stan Jackson when he's out on the field. He is a senior leader, checking in at 5'10", 180. He's got some jets, and he is going to will this drive to start off in good field position for the University of St. Francis.
So now the Cougars will go on offense. First time here in the second half. Justin Green will check into the backfield. Casey Call will be the wingback. Basically acts as a tight end in off the wingback position, as Matt Crable now just threw for 19 yards in that first half. Wants to throw here, being pressured big time, and looks to throw the ball away. Got rid of it that time, did not take the sack. But again, boy, there was pressure coming from everywhere.
Yeah, good decision. And again, University of St. Francis tries to go vertical on their first play here, and it just is not there. The pocket just does not exist, as the front line for Marion is really just eating the offensive line for the Cougars.
Spotted at the 38, 2nd down and 10 at the 11-minute mark. Clock stopped on the incompleted pass. Crable out of the shotgun formation once again. Short drop, looking to throw. Steps up, being swapped and dropped back inside the 35.
He's got to get rid of the ball faster. That's just all there is to it. There is no pocket tonight. The front three for Marion is doing just too good of a job.
Let's go down and check in with Corey.
sack, 26, Cameron Harris.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Loss of 4 yards brings up 3rd down and 14 from the 34 now. St. Francis would need to reach their own 48. Again, Marion shows blitz, but they back off. Crable, time of the pocket, now scrambles to his right. He's going to run for what he can get. Hit hard, crossed the 40, got out to the 42-yard line, but he's about 5 yards short of the 1st down. Good recognition by Matt trying to get what he could. But again, it'll be 3 and out, and St. Francis will have to punt the ball away.
Yeah, good individual effort that time by Crable to recognize and then just finally get some yardage there. Nepper should be able to give a long field here to Marion if they can limit the return.
Ben Stevens back in punt return, waits at the Marion 20-yard line as Nepper. He'll receive the snap at the USF 30-yard line. No rush, got the kick away. Nice spiral kick. Stevens looking up into the night sky, and Fair catches the ball back around the 15-yard line.
Yeah, beautiful kick once again by Nepper. And again, here it is, a long field by St. Francis coming up for Marion. And again, to start the 3rd quarter, there was just 1 first down, and then they had to punt. So the St. Francis defense was successful before the mistake. They need to get back in that mindset and just shut these guys down.
Got to keep in mind, it's still just a 6-point lead for the Knights. But USF, they got to be talking on the sidelines and looking down here on the bench with that offensive unit. And you know there's a lot of soul searching going on right now by this #1 ranked team. Here is Cook and follows blocks, and he's got a big hole across the 20. Angles to his right to about the 22-yard line.
Yeah, the blocking schemes up front for Marion are just really, really spectacular tonight. Regardless, I've seen 3-yard carries time and time again, but more often than not, we see 6, 7, and this one looks to be about 8.
You know, I think they've got another running back in there. We'll check that. It's Darter now out of the gun, looking to hand the ball off again. Here's a cut to the right side. They only needed a couple of yards for the 1st down. They'll have that, I think, easily. Or maybe not. They're marking that ball now back around the 23. Malachi Mannion credited on the stop, and that is actually a loss, so to bring up 3rd down. And it looked like the clock just went out.
Yeah.
Now it's back on.
Okay.
So it's still 3rd down and short. Darter, let's see what he does, hand the ball off and a run to the right, and they do have the 1st down out to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, again, getting just past that linebacker core, and Harnish had to come over and finally cut his legs out from underneath him, but not before he had a good 1st down.
Yeah, that is Wesley Cook in there running the football right now. Well, you talked about it earlier, Sean. These numbers are tough to see.
Yeah, it's
kind of a pale yellow
I don't know how
on a
you're
white
doing
background. Well, the binoculars help at times, but not always.
Yeah.
1st and 10, Darter with a new set of downs and looks again to Cooks and cuts it to his right, turning the corner down the right sidelines. He'll have another 1st down or close to it as USF getting no containment, and right now this is not typical USF defense.
No, the edge has been there all night for Marion, and they've been able to really exert their will, whether it's on the edge or even through the middle. Again, with a good pulling guard or a good pulling tackle, they can create holes through the middle and get whatever yardage they can.
You keep wondering when they're going to go to Johnny William. Here's the big play-catching threat. This time St. Francis stuffs it at the 40-yard line for no gain. In fact, maybe a loss of about a half a yard.
Yeah.
Well, you know there's a lot of pride down in there. This is a St. Francis team that has won 2 national championships back to back. That didn't happen by accident.
Well, and we've seen them come back from adversity before, okay? So, again, we kind of talk, at least I do up here, all down in the mouth, but they're right in this game.
Now they've got 2 wideouts to the left side. It is Johnny William up in the slot on 2nd down 11. We may see Darter put the ball in the air now. Cook stays in as the running back, offset to the right. Here comes a blitz. The ball is picked up, and it will be run. That's Marcus Stepp into the end zone if it stands up as a touchdown. A fumble return of 35 yards. Well, there's a play for you.
Tremendous. That is a break that the USF Cougars desperately needed. That's a momentum shifter right there. Nice job by that defense. They brought about 8 guys that time on a max press defensive that they dialed up. and it was a bad snap. Good recovery, and Marcus Stepp takes it to the house.
Well, you needed some help, and you got it there. Your prayer was answered, so it's a 20-20 tie. Gardner now can give St. Francis the lead of 1. Nepper the hold. Marion with pressure coming up the middle. The kick is away. It's long enough and good. And St. Francis regains the lead here at home by 1 at 21-20. And we'll step out and be back in 30 seconds. Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM. Well, it just goes to show you how quickly a game can turn around. Look like, for all intents and purposes, USF on the rope, Sean. They had nothing going defensively. It was the Charles Salary show. Then it was the Wesley Cook show. But finally, a bad snap, or I don't know if it just got away from Darter. But Marcus Stepp was there to gobble it up and rumble into the end zone. And just like that, St. Francis back on top, 21-20.
Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air. That's exactly what they need. Now they need special teams to come through, and that defense should be raring to go, if you will. They might be a little tired, but they want to get back out onto that field, I'm sure.
Kind of a game of turnovers so far. Here's a rumbling kick down to the 10. A return across the 20, 25, out across the 35 and up to the 40-yard line. Money Woods, how about that name from Snyder? Now we have penalty flags, extracurriculars up field around the 45.
Number 85, Jay Siegel, there's a penalty marker on the field.
Money Woods, one of the most dangerous guys coming out of the SAC in recent years.
Ball sits at the 39, but Jeff Gwynn will let us know. And it's going against St. Francis.
Dead ball. That's sportsmanlike conduct. Kicking team, number 8. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. First down, Marion. That's number 8. Sportsmanlike conduct. Source of qualification.
Well, we mentioned it was getting a little chippy. And that foul goes against St. Francis. So that'll add and take the ball to the 46-yard line. Penalty on Sean Roche that time. So Marion, very good field position now at the Cougar 46-yard line, trailing it by 1. 6:45 remains in this third quarter. Got a feeling this one's going down to the wire.
And it's going to be, a road of nails on both sides.
Charles Salary comes in, offset to the right of Ethan Darter. Here's the give to him and looking for a hold. Does not find it. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. Jordan May got off the bottom of the pile and had a lot of help. Miles McClendon gets credit for being there as well.
Saw Andrew Wood from Marion on the pole that time, 6'4", 285-pound junior, doing a pulling guard, and USF was there to sniff it out.
Darter now has got 2 wide to the right side. They'll back away. Still 21 on the play clock. Clock moving towards 6 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Cougars by 1. They led early 14-0. Darter rolls, looks to throw, throws to the corner, and no good that time. Looking to run a little post corner route. Johnny William, the intended receiver, and trying to get the ball in the hands of that talented sophomore who had 5 catches last week, including a touchdown. Leads the Marion pass receivers with 4 touchdowns. But now it's 3rd down and 9 as they try to reach the Cougar 36. And they're at the line of scrimmage ready to go to work again. Hard count, no. They'll back away. Again, Darter checking that Marion sidelines, waiting. Now, I don't see where it's being wagged in from.
No,
he's got to have good eyes. Darter up the line of scrimmage. Now we're down to 7. We're down to 6. Has the snap. Short drop. Looks. Lords throw the light. That one nearly intercepted. Blake Schumacher had a read on the ball, as did Marcus Stepp, but neither could find the handle. That would have been huge.
Well, flag on that play too, Joe, at the reception point.
Schumacher had uncontested route to the end zone. But let's see which way is this going against St. Francis. It will.
Defense number 31.
Goes against Marcus Stepp. It is a spot foul again, and that gives Marion new life. And we've seen that so often, it seems, this year.
Yep.
On occasion, the Cougars come up with a big play on third down only to have it negated by a costly penalty.
Yeah, that was a tough call. Boy, boy.
So 1st and 10, bunch line up to the left side. Salary works to the right, looking to cut it up. There's a penalty flag. And we'll see if this one goes against the Knights, thrown right about the USF 33-yard line.
Yeah, right into the interior line there. That typically smells of holding.
I like that adjective, too.
Oh, chop block. Ooh.
That does go against Marion.
Yeah.
During the play, illegal block. 77 offense. 15-yard penalty.
That goes against Tyler Lotz, the starting tackle, 275, 6'4". He's a junior. So that'll take the ball back outside of the 45, and they'll move it down to the USF 49-yard line.
Cougar defense needs to make that penalty count right now.
So it does remain first down and 24 at the 49-yard line. And we will see if Marion now tries to go more to an aerial game. Cougars drop 4 in coverage as Salary works to his left and has running room inside the 40, 35, and down, still running inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. Charles Salary crossing USF up, and again, they just can't lay a hand on the little guy.
No, and a great execution by the outside blocking that time, giving him more than enough to get around that edge. And once he was out there, there was really no backside pursuit, and he was dragging tacklers with him for about 5-7 yards.
Guy that only goes 5'7", 185, but he runs with authority. Darter now from the left side hash mark. Salary again starts left. No, he throws the ball, and there's a catch and a wide open run, and they will have a touchdown. That will be good for 16 yards at the 5:06 mark.
Just a little stop and go route that time. The play action worked to perfection. The receiver was able to get out there from the slot and sit in that open zone, make the catch, make a move, and they score 6.
So Darter with the touchdown. Great job by Marion coming right back after the Cougar touchdown, and they're back on top now by 5. And Plesac on with the extra point, right-footed kick. Line drive is tailing left, but he caught it inside the left upright. So it is Marion back on top now in this seesaw ball game. 5:06 remains, still here in the third quarter. 27-21 Knights with a stoppage down below. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM. Did you see who caught that pass?
I did not.
I don't think anything there. Can you? I don't think it was William, but
yeah, I don't know.
It could have been. Back at Darcy Stadium, my name's Joe Parson. Sean McBride is with us, and Corey Kitchen as well.
Picking off of the Knights, number 43.
Might have been Johnny William on that touchdown reception right there. We're trying to get the confirmation, but again, Marion now takes the lead here with 5:06 to go in the third quarter, and they're getting ready to kick this one away.
Even the Marion radio folks were telling us before the game, good luck on trying to spot those numbers, the away uniforms, and we were lost. Stan Jackson back in punt and kick return. Waits at the USF 5-yard line now. Plesac waiting for the go-ahead. Now approaching at the 35 and drives it again. Here is Stan looking, gathers in at the 6. Works it out to the 10, 15 short side, running out of room, and angles out of bounds here on the Cougar side of things across the 25-yard line.
2 nice returns that time by Jackson previously. And what we've seen here is both teams really capitalizing on the other one's mistakes. Again, we talked about the St. Francis touchdown, the run back by Stepp. Well, again, on the subsequent drive, again on defense, Stepp makes that penalty on third down, so that's another third down conversion for Marion, and they make that count by driving it into the end zone with a touchdown pass. So, yeah, mistakes are on the board.
P.J. Dean checks back into the backfield. Crable wants to throw, screens the ball, and has a catch. That's Justin Green, and works it out just short of the 35. They're going to say the knee hit at the 33. That'll be a gain of 6, but I like the call because everybody is coming for Marion and try to go with where they're not.
Yeah, that is the perfect play call. Again, this defensive front for Marion, very aggressive, and has sniffed out that quarterback all night long, and so they're coming with authority. So again, a screen is a great call.
St. Francis stays with the 2 protectors in there. It'll be 2nd down and 4. And here is a straight hit, and there's Green. He's into the 2nd level, up the midfield and down to the 48. That is vintage Justin Green running the football.
Beautiful job that time. A little slow getting up.
And limping.
And limping coming off the field is Justin Green, but not before he gets a nice run into Marion territory.
Well, he missed 2 games, and they were hoping to get him back full steam, and now going to the bench, so that does not bode well. Casey Call will check into the ball game. It'll be 1st and 10, USF right at midfield, in fact at the Marion 49, but trailing it now again by 6. Empty backfield now, and let's see if Crable can get rid of the ball in a hurry. Low snap, picks it up off the turf, completes the pass, and here's Rocky James. He dodged 2 tacklers. 3rd one got him as he works to the 46 for a short gain of about 3 yards.
Yeah, again, just take 2 steps and go across the line. That's exactly what they did, and it was a completion, not for much.
Now they want to play fast, not huddling up. They come to the line of scrimmage on 2nd down. Crable looking to throw. Throws over the middle. A one-handed attempt by Dylan Hundley, could not find the handle. It drops incomplete, and just like that, it'll be 3rd down now and 7. And St. Francis trying to reach the 39 of Marion. Got a night down. So we're going to have a stoppage here. That's one of the big guys, and that's Oakley, I believe. 99, Christopher Oakley. Sophomore, 270. He's up. They're tending to him.
Football fans, just a reminder that the St. Felix Catholic Center in Huntington, Indiana offers 1-day and overnight retreats with over 70 rooms. Be sure to visit Our Lady in our grotto and walk the 30 scenic acres. St. Felix is the former home of Blessed Solanus Casey. You can visit their website at sfcatholiccenter.com to schedule your next meeting or retreat. That's the St. Felix Catholic Center in Huntington, Indiana.
Still working on Oakley down there at the field. So we have a little bit of a delay here with still 3:23 remaining in this 3rd quarter. We get a chance with Corey, we might see what they are telling us. They're working on Green here on the bench, left alone right now. His helmet is off, so it'll be interesting to see if his return is expected here tonight.
Looks like he's up on his feet right now, but that might be temporary. Might just be walking it off.
Looks like he's walking fine, though, right now. A little different when you're trying to run, no?
Yeah, a little different.
Still with Oakley down, being tended by the trainers. Well, next week, Cougars make the drive up to Ann Arbor, Michigan. They'll take on the Concordia Cardinals.
You were going to say Cadets.
I sure was. Had them last night, but that was a different deal. By the way, Oakley up and a little bit gingerly walking off the field under his own power, a little bit of a limp. That's a 1 o'clock kickoff in Michigan next Saturday, and our pregame on Redeemer Radio at 12:45. They won big, by the way, down in Lindenwood Belleville today, 71-0. It's interesting, they were shut out the week earlier by Robert Morris, 7-0, and then 71 points in the win today. You never know. 3rd down, USF trying to reach the 40, just inside the 40 to the 39 on this snap. Call is in up on the wingback spot to the right side as Crable looking to throw, taking a lot of time, pulls it down and run, and he's got the 1st down. He's got running room, works to the 30, 25, down to the 20 and out of bounds on the far side to the 18-yard line. And a penalty flag down, back around the 48.
I think this one's coming back, Joe.
Another Knight is down.
Holding. Offense number 58. 10-yard penalty for previous spot. Replay, 3rd down.
holding call on Nick Shoemaker is going to wipe out that nice gainer by Matt Crable on the scramble run. So again, we're going to have a stoppage down below as we take a look at that injured Marion Knight.
I think that's Dutra, number 6, the D end.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Who has 8 sacks already this season coming into tonight's ball game. But timeout down below, 27-21 Marion, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM.
When you experience a sports injury, muscle, or joint pain, you want treatment right away. Parkview Ortho Express provides same-day orthopedic and sports injury care without referral or appointment, offering diagnostics, x-rays, the region's only body composition DEXA scan right inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Walk in Monday through Thursday, 7 to 7, Friday, 7 to 5, and Saturday, 8 to noon. For more information, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com/orthoexpress.
This is the
mixed up with that holding call in some way, assessed against Nick Shoemaker. He remains in a sitting position at the 49-yard line. Again, they continue to pay attention to him. Meanwhile, the Cougars are going to have third down coming up in 17, but the ball now will be back at the USF 44-yard line.
You know, Joe, speaking of good football, next week we've got the Bishop Dwenger Saints on Friday night. Taking on, you talked about arch rivals. It's going to be Dwenger versus Snyder. We're going to be at the Zollner Stadium next week. Tailgate Talk starts at 6 p.m. with our live game coverage starting at 6:55. And again, USF football right here the next day on Saturday, taking on Concordia.
By the way, Dutra very slow walking off the field under his own power.
Now he's getting some help.
Now he's going to. He decided I need a little help, and they're going to keep all the weight off of it. They actually host him in the air. That does not bode well.
No.
He's a talented player.
Indeed.
But USF back to the wars as they've got third down and long with 3:03 remaining in the third quarter, trailing at 27-21. Trying to reach the 39 of Marion. Motion near side. That's call. And here's the pressure coming as Crable loads, fires, and ball dropped in and out of the breadbasket at the 41-yard line. That was Dan Rixey. Normally that's money, but again, USF just not able to make the plays on offense, and they'll have to punt the ball away yet again.
Yeah, even if Rixey would have brought that in, that would have been a yard shy, would have brought up a 4th and 1. It would have been interesting to see if it's 4-down territory, but we're not going to get that opportunity as the punt team comes on.
Ben Stevens back in punt return. Nepper waits at his own 31-yard line. Clock inside of 3 minutes now, late in this third quarter. Pressure's coming up the middle. Nepper gets it away, wobbly ball. Stevens going to let it hit, and hits inside the 25, takes a Cougar bounce out of bounds inside the 20, down somewhere around the, well, we'll see where they're going to mark it.
There's a flag back here on the 45.
There's a penalty marker on the field.
Huh. I followed the ball. I didn't follow the action, the scrum.
Well, we'll find out in a moment from Jeff Gwynn. That would not give them a first down.
Holding. Return team, number 44. This is to the goal. First down.
They'll just move Marion half the distance back to the goal. And if the USF ever needed a big stand right now, it would be right now, trailing it by 6 with 2:43 remaining in this third quarter.
6 penalties on the night for both squads.
After the penalty, Marion will start first and 10 on their own 8-yard line.
First and 10, Knights at their own 8. Malachi Mannion in, defensive right side. Also Matt Swartz, I believe, on the defensive line. And Darter waits for the snap at his 3, hands the ball off. Here's a cut back to the left side, and a straight arm will get Cook out close to the 15-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of about 7. That's been a kind of a, we've said that a lot tonight.
Well, we have. And, you know, what's really frustrating for the University of St. Francis Cougars, not only salary but Cook, they can run wherever they really want to run. If the play is designed to go left but they see an opening on the right, they can pivot on a dime and go for that green area.
And I was watching Malachi Mannion. They had him wrapped up. He could not, and there he is again. And I guess that's not holding in the way they play the game of football now in the offensive defensive lines, but that's got to be frustrating when somebody's actually got you in your shirt inside with those hands.
No, yeah, they say if you keep it on the breastplate, then...
And a running back runs right by you.
Yeah.
That's kind of what's happened time and again here tonight. Clock stopped, now it runs inside of 2 minutes. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Knights. They've got it at their 21-yard line. And they'll run the ball yet again. Cook, though, brought down right at the 20-yard line. Was that Step that...
Yeah, I think he curled in, Step or Harnish, one of the two.
It's Marcus Step on that play. Marcus has had big plays a couple of times tonight. Stan Jackson now rotates in for Ryan Johnson at one of the corners. Cougars expecting perhaps Darter to put the ball in the air. It'll be 2nd down, no gain after the last play. We're into 90 seconds, inside of 90 seconds. As Darter Cougars show blitz, but again the whistles blow. And that may back up the Knights another 5 yards. A lot of penalties.
Offense, number 78, 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Jaron Bush, we've mentioned his name a couple of times tonight, and not in the good way. That'll move them back to the 15-yard line, so now it's 2nd down and 15.
Yeah, it'd be great to see the USF defense really dial up some pressure here on these next 2 plays because, again, they're in the shadow of their own end zone, and if they can force the punt, then a short field should be on tap for the USF offense, and that's what they need right now.
Had a little problem with the scoreboard clock. Now they've got that sorted out. Shows 1:18 remaining, and they'll wind the clock now. So it's going to be 2nd down and 15, actually. And I think they're still having problems with getting the numbers right. Darter trying to change the play call with 10 on the play clock. Got Cook in as the running back, offset to the left, down to 5, down to 4. Still backing up with 2, with 1. And they got the play off as Cook. No, he's quick throw to the right, an open receiver in the slot. And a big gain all the way across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
Unbelievable. They can't bring him down. He must have had 7 yards after the catch being wrapped up by St. Francis Cougars, and they allow him to get the 1st down.
That was Brandon Dillon, the 6'5" tight end. Nobody near him when he caught that ball, and you get a big guy like that with able to get a lot of momentum going. Very tough. Now the final seconds of this 3rd quarter, improving field position for the Knights at their own 34-yard line. Expect to run again, and they do run. And a sweep coming to the left side. And a better defense now as a USF caught him from the backside. That was Jordan May that came all the way across from his left defensive end position and got a piece of Cook.
Yeah, doing a fine job actually seeing the sweep to the opposite side and running horizontal to the line of scrimmage.
That is going to do it here at the end of this 3rd quarter. Teams going to their respective sidelines. And it's Marion with the ball and the lead after 3 quarters here in Fort Wayne. They've defeated USF here 4 times, lost 3 times, 27-21 Knights with a timeout. We'll be back to Darcy Stadium, Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM. I think we've got a Tim Didier. Jeez. Well, we head to quarter 4, and that's what good teams, good football teams look forward to. You see a lot of them, holding 4 fingers up, and you want to take control of a game. And right now, Marion in the driver's seat, but the lead is tenuous, just 6 points. Cougars have made some plays, and admittedly, arguably, they have not played here their best either side of the ball, but still very much in this ball game, trailing at just 27-21.
Yeah, they're right in it, Joe. They need a break right here. I'd love to see them kill this drive to start the 4th quarter. and get that offense back on the field. But they're not there yet.
2nd down and 6 coming up for the Knights now. They work left to right, and again they'll run up the middle, and a big hole for Cook as he just sees, spots, recognizes, and attacks, and brings it out to the 46.
Yeah, very patient there at the mesh point. The quarterback and the running back just standing there waiting for the hole to open, and then as soon as it's there, he's just running right through it. Somebody's hobbled.
Yeah, just Jaron Bush, who
timeout for injury.
Is now another timeout as he goes down. He was trying to run off the field. So we'll have a stoppage once again as a Marion player down. And with our score 27-21, we'll take a break, 30-second timeout. And this is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Choose from over 60 vehicles under $10,000. Visit drivekelly.com. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Joined by Sean McBride, and we still have the injury for Marion right now down on the field. They will take a look at it. Well, they have a first down at their own 47-yard line. Still an eternity remaining in this fourth quarter to be played. Still 14:45, and you kind of wait, Sean. You're looking for that big play, something to break loose for the silver and blue.
Well, you certainly are, and we're talking a little bit with Corey Kitchen during the break. We'll bring him in now, but Corey, that offensive line for Marion, they're doing it. Yeah.
Well, Jaron Bush helped off the field, and now he's running a little bit better, so it looks like prognosis is good for that big guy as he goes 6'4", 295. But it's 1st and 10. Knights still in command. Darter wanting to screen the ball and just threw it away. It wasn't there. Now, it does not get past the line of scrimmage, I don't believe.
Yeah, I think they're going for a backside screen there, but the receiver wheeling out there just was not there. So
on the Marion 47-yard line.
That's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, just going to rule it no harm, no foul. Incomplete pass, 2nd and 10 coming up. Again, 1 wide to the short side to the left there, 2 wide to the right. Safety's well back for St. Francis now. And Darter changing the play call again with still 12 on the play clock. Now they go in. No, that is not empty. Darter actually went down to one knee to say something to a lineman. Wants to throw the quick out. He's got Johnny Williams. Williams straight arms one, 40, 35, and angles out of bounds inside the USF 35 to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, showing a lot of speed out there, but a good pursuit that time by the University of St. Francis to knock him out of bounds as he was trying to go north and south after that catch. But still, a good first down for Marion.
Here come the Knights, getting ever closer, trying to add to that 6-point lead. Darter has basically worked out of the shotgun formation with a running back, and he has handed it off a lot. And looks on the read option. Here's a cut back to the left by Cook, tripped up and dropped at the USF 31.
Again, a lot of those plays designed, they start right and then flow left as the defense pursues to the right, and that's when the holes open up on the backside there. But USF doing a good job of plugging that one for you and limiting that gain.
Cook picks up a couple, 2nd down and 8. Now the Knights coming back to the line of scrimmage. They stay with 2 wideouts to the right, 1 to the left. Running back remains Cook. Looks on the read option. Cook coming on a sweep. Escaped 1 and brought down right at the 30-yard line. St. Francis got enough of them at least initially to slow him up that he was able to only get back to the line of scrimmage. So now it'll be 3rd down and long.
Yeah, and you know, Corey talked about it. The University of St. Francis defense very fast. So if you're trying to spread horizontally, it's not really a good game plan. But here we are.
Trying to reach the 23-yard line now on this snap. Darter again checks off. Looking over to the Marion side. He's on the left side hash mark. Does not have to look that far. Now says something to his offensive line. He's back in the gun. Play clock at 7. He's got the snap, wants to throw, looks, steps up, runs to his right, he's got running room. Inside the 25 to the 20, slides down. It'll be 1st and 10 Knights.
Well, good field awareness by the quarterback. Was checking off his receivers, looked to the right, found some green acres, decides to tuck it and run, and slides down safely at the 21. And another first down for Marion.
Just short of the red zone, with still inside of 12.5 minutes time remaining. Cougars would love to hold them to a field goal attempt if they can. Blitz coming defensive left side as Cook has got running room and again escapes. Finally hit and drags tacklers down inside the 15 to about the 12.
And so the scales come out. Is he faster or more powerful? I really can't tell.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Boy, oh boy, what a dangerous player.
3 brings up 2nd and 7 from the Cougar 18-yard line.
Big gains again with the run game here tonight. That is going to be very frustrating to Coach Kevin Donnelly when they break down the postmortem of this ball game. Darter with the running back lined up behind. Here's Cook starting left, runs into his own man, and then got to the line of scrimmage and driven back.
Nice job. Good open field awareness that time, as that running back couldn't decide, do I break it outside or do I cut it up? And he just stood there for a second. That was long enough for the Silver Helmets to come over and wrap him up and drive him back.
And that was Dunton that got to him. So now 3rd down, but they've got 3rd down and a yard. And something's wrong on the scoreboard, but we'll go with what we see as they'll run the ball again up the middle, and they'll have the first down close to the 10 and maybe another, well, let's see where they spot it. One official, the linesman, right at the 10. It'll be 1st and goal for the Knights.
Will, if they're stretching the chains, I don't know why they're...
And there's a Cougar down as well.
Yeah, there is.
Tackled by 54, Mitchell Thornberry, and 32, Malachi Mannion.
Been a hard-hitting game. We've had a number of players down, especially in this second half. Pearson Harnish went off early in the ball game, but came back in. And another injury timeout right now at the 11-minute mark. Both teams will go to their respective sidelines as we will take a break. 27-21, Marion, and knocking on the door when we get back to live action. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM.
The Chapel Project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Well, they're working on Malachi Mannion, but he's on his feet and walking to the sidelines under his own power. Still trying. I don't know if he had the wind knocked out of him. Sean kind of bent over at times here trying to get off the field.
Yeah, and he took one of the gloves off as well. So I can't tell if it's maybe an arm injury or if he's, I don't know.
1st and goal. Knights have got it, knocking on the door. Here's Salary back in, starts up the middle. Cougars drag him down inside the 5, actually outside the 5. That'll be a gain of 4. Now they're going to bring in 4 new players to the Knights lineup. That's going to bring in Tristan Tonte again. They'll run the Wildcat now. So he's the lone back out there. Now they'll back away with 2:20 on the play clock. Tonte ran for a touchdown early in the ball game from 3 yards out. Waiting for the snap. Tonte's got it. Looking, running, and tripped up. He did not get to the 5. Good defense by St. Francis.
Yeah, just a big pile right there. He was not able to find his way through. So, again, not much there, but the clock continues to grind down. Under 10 now to go here in the contest.
Now Salary comes back into the game. You got Dillon out there. He's tight to the left side. Play clock at 23. Darter's back in there at quarterback as well. Now they back away and waiting for this play call to be wagged in. 9:33 remaining in regulation. Darter's ready now, backs up out of the shotgun. Salary offset to the right. It's Darter wanting to throw. Pressure's coming. They screen the ball. And here's a run into the end zone, untouched.
Darter's pass complete to number 9, Greg Miller.
That's Greg Miller on the receiving end. So a quick touchdown. Officially 6 yards on the play. And Marion, their biggest lead of the night here on the road at 33-21.
Well, it was a fantastically set up play that time, almost a jailbreak, but again on the outside as the receiver came in towards the line of scrimmage behind 2 blockers, and then he was able to snake his way into the end zone without anybody getting a paw on him. A nice touchdown there by Marion.
9:21, here's Plesac with the driving extra point. That is good. And the Knights beginning to stretch it out. Now their lead is 13. And the Cougars will need instant points as we still have 9:21 remaining. We'll be back in 30. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM.
Concussions. They're a concern for parents of athletes in any sport. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine is leading the way with the area's first concussion clinic. Our integrated sports medicine team utilizes an innovative, evidence-based approach to manage athletic-related head injuries in those 14 and older, providing comprehensive care to get the athlete you love safely back in play. To schedule an appointment, call Parkview Sports Medicine at 266-4007. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
And the reputation for fresh custom meat orders. If you'd like that special cut of beef for your next gathering, Tim Didier Meats can help. Prime rib, filet mignon, and Tim's own special ground beef, made fresh daily, can be ordered within an hour's notice. Give Tim a call at 482-8400.
Matt Kamakewicz back in kick return, start of the game with a 91-yard return, set up the first touchdown of the ball game. They'll kick the ball to him again. Runs up to it, he's got it short of the 15. Works to his right side. Tripped up, still on his feet at the 15 and got up to the 20, 25. And St. Francis now back on offense. And will they have something? They've got to try to put something together here in the late going.
Yeah, Crable needs to be Crable here. He needs to really show some leadership and some poise, trying to make something happen, not only through the air, because, again, P.J. Dean is going to be on the field. We don't know about Justin Green at this point, but I'd like to see an aerial attack.
We'll check in maybe with Corey, see if we've got an update, but right now it's St. Francis 1st and 10 at their 27, moving from right to left, down 13 at home. And P.J. Dean looking for some running room. Got to the 30-yard line. Let's go down and check in. Corey, you got anything for us?
Tackle on a play by number 7, Bailey Bennett. In a 3 brings up 2nd and 7 from the Cougar 30-yard line.
There you go.
Gotcha. Thank you very much for the update. Gain of 3, let's call it. 2nd down and 7. Crable looks near side, checks off, now runs the ball. And he's got a blocker in front. He's got a first down, 40, 45 down the right sidelines. And out of bounds on the Marion side. Let's see, they mark him out of bounds right about midfield, and that's a great scramble run by that young quarterback.
And that's Crable being Crable. That's exactly what we talked about right there. Good situational awareness, looking downfield, nothing there. And he decides to put the backpack on his shoulders and take it.
St. Francis a little bit more a sense of urgency with this offensive attack. Down 13, inside 8.5 minutes time remaining here in the fourth quarter. Crable again looking to throw and in trouble. Steps up and he's going to be brought down back around the 46-yard line.
He did everything he possibly could to get out of that. There was way too many white jerseys there. Was not able to escape the pressure, and he gets sacked.
Loss of 4. More importantly, the clock continues to move. It'll be 2nd down and 14. Cougars trying to reach ultimately the 40-yard line of Marion to convert and pick up a new set of downs. 2nd down and long. Crable with a protector to his left. Looking to throw, can't find anything. Now throws to the right and a diving attempt for it. Let's see how they're going to rule it. And they ruled it a catch. That was Rixey that went down and dug it off the turf.
Fantastic job by Rixey that time, and a good job by Crable throwing it only where Rixey could get it.
Now they spot that ball at the 43 of Marion, so it'll bring up 3rd down and let's call it a short 3. Trying to reach the 40-yard line. Crable again with 2 wide to his left. looking for something quick. Instead pulls the ball down, has got a catch, and that's Rocky James. No, it's Dan Rixey again. And a crossing pattern, ran the drag route from right to left and turns downfield, and he's got a first down at the 35.
Boy, that was just fantastic. Again, a quick hitter over the middle, just what they call a little jump pass. The quarterback elevates and just dumps it right over the middle with the crossing route, and it was successful.
Get a sense a little bit more optimism by this offensive attack. Kamakevich up on the slot to the right side. Grable rolls to the right, buying time, looking, pulls it down, cuts back to his left, now pivots, looking, and is brought down at the 39-yard line.
Another huge sack that time by Marion, and again, that's a coverage sack as Grable can't find anything downfield. Oh, we've got a flag down there near the 16.
Chad Skaggs on the sack, but let's see about the penalty. Clock stops with 6:36 remaining.
That could be a big one right there.
Jeff Gwynn, our referee, about to let us know.
Penalty marker on the field. Holding. Defense number 21. Send-out penalty. Cougars result in the first down.
TJ Comer called for the defensive hold. So St. Francis will benefit, and they'll have a new set of downs as the ball will be placed down inside the Marion 25 to the 24-yard line.
Well, they needed a break, and there was one right there. Again, that erases that big sack and moves them even closer to the red zone.
Clockers moving again inside 6.5 minutes time remaining. 3 wide to the right, including Will Chrisman out there now. As Crable looks left side, steps up, dances, throws to the end zone. It's got a man open. Touchdown! That's Will Chrisman. Ran the deep post. Touchdown of 34 yards, something the Cougars needed, and Crable on the money to the big guy, and that'll make it 34-27.
Boy, the pressure relief valve just blew right there as Chrisman was streaking over the middle. He had good separation, 2-3 yards on the defender. Thrown a little bit behind, but well within his reach, and he comes down with a big touchdown.
Now, Gardner trying to make it a 6-point difference. Nepper the hold. Right-footed kick is on the way. This one is good. So the lead is 6. And would Kevin Donnelly try to go onside now? Still plenty of time remaining. Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining. Marion's lead is 6. We'll be back. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM. Well, the Cougars claw and scrape their way back within 6 points. They cannot allow Marion with anything really sustained, trying to just melt that clock away.
Well, and again, Joe, what that really proved to us right there is they do have some quick hit ability. That really didn't take a whole lot of time off that clock, that drive right there. So again, that's a really nice glimmer of hope here with 6:19 remaining here in the contest.
I would think that they'll go just maybe pooch the ball, but I don't think they'll go onside necessarily with this much time left. We'll find out. And they do kick the ball down the deep. Backpedaling inside the 5, a return from the 3. Work across the 15, and that is it. Cougars ball hawking, trying to strip that ball away. Marion will have it 1st and 10, short of their own 20-yard line.
Again, special teams tonight for USF doing a really fine job. A couple of mistakes here and there, but really overall an A grade for the St. Francis special teams unit.
Now let's check who's out there. Ryan Johnson on one quarter, Blake Schumacher in the deep secondary. Jalen Moss out there as well, Omer Combe. Pearson Harnish, one linebacker. Eric Dunton is in there. And they'll be trying to put pressure on Ethan Darter, who's played a whale of a game in a backup role. No Luke Johnson tonight for the Knights at quarterback. Motion far side. Here's a run up the middle. Big running room again, and they got a 1st down. That's Salary. It got all the way across the 30 up to the 32 before anybody laid a glove on him.
Boy, I tell you, Joe, you or I could have run through that hole there off the right tackle. Just a big gaping hole, nice room, plenty of yardage on that gain.
Clock moves inside, 6 minutes now, time remaining. 1st and 10 Knights. And they will take their time. Coming up to the line of scrimmage, Cougars do have all 3 timeouts remaining. And here is Darter, hands the ball off, and there's an off-tackle run across the 35. Charles Salary again to the 36, just short of the 37-yard line.
Yeah, St. Francis again now looking pretty standard with a 4-down lineman set. Again, outside linebackers are crouching the line as well, but still ineffective against the big uglies up front for Marion.
Thornbury in there at 1 defensive end position. Jamisic on the front line defensively as well. Cougars need the football. That's a gain of 5, 2nd down and 5 with just over 5 minutes remaining. Bunch line up to the right. Read option. Here's an off-tackle run, and Salary's got another 1st down. Brings it out to his own 43-yard line.
Well, Stepp grabbed his shoestring that time, and thank goodness he did, because he actually caught him up and stopped him from making what could have been a very, very long run.
Jamisic checks out. Jordan May comes back in. And again, no urgency right now. Ethan Darter looking at the sidelines. Now we've got 4:49 remaining. Marion on top by 6 here on the road. Looking for their 5th win in Fort Wayne if they can get it against St. Francis. Darter to Salary, looking right side and met. As Wilmer Cole came up and made the stop. It's still a gain of about 4.
Again, even after that initial hit, Cole doing a great job getting low, stuffing him right in the legs. He still fell forward for another 1.5 yards after that initial hit.
Again, the Cougar coaches trying to find a way to strip the football free. 2nd down and 5. Now just over 4 minutes remaining. Cougars bringing everybody, almost the house. There was movement and no penalty flag. It'll run to the right side. Salary Rich midfield, got another yard or 2 deep into Cougar territory. Short of the 1st down. Cougars selling out and just trying to get Salary in the backfield if they can wrap up on him. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Big play in the ball game coming up, Sean.
Yeah, had some good pressure from the outside, but he was able to evade that 1st hit. And yeah, this is a huge play right here.
Crowd coming alive here at Darcy Stadium. Standing room only crowd here on the Cougar side. Darter on the pistol, hands to Salary, hit and backpedals. I believe he got it on 2nd effort down inside the 47.
Again, that initial hit, he was somehow able to keep that front momentum pushing forward. I think he's going to have a 1st down.
He is so little at 5'7", but he got down and just kept the legs driving, backpedaling for the 1st down. No indication yet.
No.
Clock is moving.
I think that's going to be a 4th and inches.
Apparently did not get the 1st down.
Wow.
Now what do you do here if you're Mark Henninger?
I call for a measurement.
Your team is in the lead. Clock is still moving. We're down to 14 on the play clock. And Darter's going to have to run a play. Ball game on the line right now. USF trying to sell out. They're trying to draw him off sides. Darter, a couple of head counts. Now it's going to call a timeout. We are down to 2:35 remaining. It'll be 4th down and inches. And what a stage for a possible 4th down stop for St. Francis if they can get the job done. We'll keep things right here.
You know, Joe, we've seen the University of St. Francis time and time again make some tremendous goal line stands. This could be one right here in midfield in the making. And if they do, that's going to bring up a short field for the Cougars. But let's see. Marion might want to kick this one away and try a coffin corner here just to give a long field to Crable and company on offense.
You'd love to be over on that Marion side. They talk about their options. They have 2 timeouts left now.
We should ask Corey to run across the field and get it. That's probably not a good idea.
Meanwhile, what's going through the minds of the Cougar coaches down there talking to the silver and blue? Will Marion actually run a play on 4th down? Will they punt the ball?
Let's see what happens. They're still huddled up. The defense cannot be pulled off sides.
Yeah, Darter came with a couple of hard counts about 3 different times with a head bob trying to draw St. Francis, and they held their water. Now the crowd standing on both sides of the stadium here at Darcy Stadium. And Darter backs up. Charles Sallery is the running back. Darter took a look over his shoulder. He's got motion now by Johnny William. And they'll run Sallery up the middle, and he's got the first down to the 45 and more. Down to the USF 44.
Valiant effort, but just too much power up front. We've seen it all night long from Marion. The big uglies up there have just exerted their will. When they needed a yard, they got 3.
Nose of the football just inside the St. Francis 44-yard line. So the 27-game win streak definitely on the line right now and in jeopardy with 2:15 remaining in this ball game. Clock moves again, approaching 2 minutes time remaining. St. Francis needs the football, down 6 here at home. Again, they're going to have 6 men up close to the line of scrimmage. A little motion by Johnny William as Darter looks to Sallery again. Tripped up by Moss, but he recovers and gets a gain of a couple of yards.
It's got to be very frustrating for Moss. That's 3 times in a row that he's hit Sallery in the backfield, and Sallery was able to recover and still get positive yards.
Now the Cougars take one of their 3 timeouts. It'll be 2nd down and 8 with 1:50 remaining when we return to Darcy Stadium. Marion on top by half a dozen. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Choose from over 60 vehicles under $10,000. Visit drivekelly.com. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
The strength of Marion's attack has been on the ground, primarily with Charles Sallery, but Wesley Cook has also contributed mightily. And Sallery in this latest drive, he has been huge when they've needed him. Now the Knights coming out. 1:50 on the clock. It'll be 2nd down and 8 at the USF 42-yard line. Somehow, some way, the #1 ranked Cougars trying to get their hands on the football. Little motion again, right to left, and they'll run the ball. Here's Sallery up the middle, and he's through, and he's got a chance for a touchdown. He'll be brought down at the inside the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal.
You know, when this game is reviewed, Joe, it's going to be hats off to the big men up front for Marion. These front 5 have just been exemplary tonight. Again, creating a seam right up the gut, and a tremendous run that time. Big jets, big power, and now they're set up to score.
Well, Kevin Downey told us we're going to play these guys twice. I'm sure he was hoping that it would be a return engagement here in Fort Wayne. Probably is not going to happen. If St. Francis is able to go on, they would have to play the Knights in Indianapolis, where they've done very well.
That's right.
Motion, though, and they'll run the ball again. Sallery looking for running room, runs into a wall right about the 10. Cougars still with 2 timeouts remaining. Let's see if they're going to use one of those with 1:06 to play. And we'll keep things right here once again. 1:06 on the clock, and things look bleak for the silver and blue. Let's go down and check in again with Corey.
Yeah, it's a great point. Corey, you talk about Hemmelgarn and his career, and most of the time the guys in front of him had roller skates on because Hemmelgarn was in front of him. So, yeah, they do miss him tonight for sure against this big line from Marion. But, you know, Joe, maybe this is all in a bigger plan. You know, we talk about it, the postseason play. Again, St. Francis being more successful down in Indianapolis. Again, who's to say?
Ball is right at the 10-yard line. It'll be 2nd down. Again, anything can happen, but you got to have the football. Darter again, got to believe they'll keep it on the ground with Sallery. He's been so effective here tonight. He runs the ball off tackle, escaped one would-be tackler, wheels his way down inside close to the 6-yard line. And that will be the third and final timeout of St. Francis.
And again, Marion at this point in the driver's seat. St. Francis cannot stop the clock with 1 minute left here. They don't need to score. They just need to run the clock out at this point, and that's probably going to be what their MO here. It's going to be third down, and this is going to hurt, obviously, for St. Francis. We're hoping for something here in the next 2 plays, but
Shawnee, you look down the road looking for that silver lining. Sometimes when you've got, and don't forget, this is a 2-time defending national champion. The monkey's going to be off their back. This was going to be win number 28 in a row. That's not going to happen. Streak will be snapped at 27. Now you look ahead, Concordia. They've never won against St. Francis. They won big today, 71-0 on the road. They'll be earmarking their performance next Saturday in Ann Arbor against the St. Francis team that I think will be motivated after a potential loss here tonight at home. So again, we'll see how the Cougars respond next Saturday in Ann Arbor.
Well, and here's the deal. Concordia can watch this game, and obviously they will, and what they're going to learn is that we don't have the line that Marion has. So now what?
They have a great running back, though.
They do, but it takes great men up front to give them that room.
Darter has got motion again. He'll look to Salary, checks off, wants to run right, is dragged down. Jamisic's got a piece of him in there. And it'll be a loss maybe back close to the 8, but now we're down where they maybe just need to take one more snap on 4th down coming up. And they're going to take this clock down as far as they can. They may even take a penalty. Down to 34 seconds. And Marion just standing around on offense. Still 17 on the play clock, so about a 10-second difference.
Yeah.
Let's see if they do take a timeout.
They'll probably burn a timeout. They might even want to try and chip one in here so that if anything crazy happens on special teams and St. Francis does get a touchdown on the run back, highly unlikely with the kick coming up, at least there is a buffer there.
So there is going to be a timeout. We'll keep it things right here as well. Marion does take the timeout, 12.4 seconds remaining. Well, the smart play would probably just be to take a knee because St. Francis has no timeouts remaining. You try a field goal, crazy thing can happen. A block kick and a run back for a touchdown. Suddenly St. Francis is in a position to win this ball game with virtually no time remaining. So,
well, but my question there is if they take the knee on 4th down, won't that stop the clock?
Well, it depends how much time they take taking that knee.
Run around back there.
You could run some 50 yards, I guess, and then take the knee as time would expire, I would think. But we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah.
Mark Henniger probably talking about his options with his team. And it's still, like I say, even if they do take the knee and there's going to be like 10 seconds to go, and Cougars would need about a 92-yard touchdown play in the final seconds.
And that would require a significant Hail Mary.
I'll tell you what, you can hear a pin drop outside. This big crowd is going to go home disappointed. And they are going to try the field goal attempt with Plesac. Well, hold on. This will be a 24-yard field goal to ice it. Waiting for the snap, right-footed kick. It's on the way, and it is going to be good. So that will make it a 37-28 lead with just 9.3 seconds remaining. I don't know about the call. I don't know that I would have tried that. But again, when things go for you as you plan, you look pretty smart.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, again, it shows faith in their kicker and in their special teams play. And again, if it is in fact successful, then a crazy run back by St. Francis on one more play really doesn't give them anything to do because now they've got that extra point buffer in there.
So the lead is 9. And the last time I checked, there is no such thing as a 9-point play in football.
No. They can make 8, but not 9.
Dan Jackson will go back deep and trying to give the homestanding crowd here one last thrill before the thought process starts to go to Ann Arbor and taking on Concordia next week with one loss. Well, by and large, this matchup has been for the Mid-East League Championship, and it may well be again here tonight. And Marion, after losing out, remember they lost a 14-0 lead at home a year ago. And St. Francis went on to win their second national championship. Wouldn't be surprised to just squib the ball, and they do a line drive kick that's fielded at the 26. Return across the 35.
Oh, get out of bounds, huh?
And they do lateral the ball in the fire play, and that one, Stan Jackson trying to chase that one down, and he goes out of bounds. It's triple zeros come up, and that will do it. Upset here today in Fort Wayne at Darcy Stadium as Marion, ranked number 6, no longer. They will move up. Can they move to number 1? Because they beat number 1 here tonight in Fort Wayne on the Cougars home field by a final score of 37-28. We'll be back with our post-game wrap-up after a timeout. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM. Hit that light, will you?
USF Cougars supporters, including presenting sponsor Physicians Health Plan on
What do you have left?
Also, Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep.
I can't hear you. Hold on.
Ford Financial Credit Union.
Yep. Just run whatever you've got left, and then we'll wrap it up quickly.
Place of Fort Wayne and Midwest America Federal Credit Union.
Well, once we're done, you'll run the close.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending tonight's game, and please drive home
I think
safely.
we're back live here now.
Parkview Sports Medicine, especially since I've been a pro, has been a place where my game has really been able to develop in multiple facets. Injury prevention, maintenance, physical therapy, weightlifting, agility work, all the things that I need to do in order to have an NBA body. This is the place for me to go when I come back home and I need to get a workout in. Always welcome me back with open arms.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
The Kelly Automotive Group is simple, transparent, reliable. Simple. Our customer specialists make buying a car easy and fun. Transparent. Our price listed is the best price. No hassle, no gimmicks. Reliable. Buy with confidence and peace of mind. We work hard to ensure the best value however you shop. Choose from over 60 vehicles under $10,000. Visit drivekelly.com. The Kelly Automotive Group. Simple, transparent, reliable.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team. We're treating injuries when and where they happen and working to prevent them before they do. We believe the best care is coordinated care, helping ensure you get the individualized services you need every step of the way, offering innovative treatment techniques to get you or the athlete you love back in play, reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on.
The Chapel Project is the most important building that has ever been built or ever will be built on this campus. It's in the heart of the campus, it's on Mirror Lake, and the chapel and the Bass Mansion will be able to communicate with each other architecturally.
Parkview Sports Medicine is an integrated sports medicine team.
I mean, I always had my family behind me, I always had my team behind me, but to have staff that wanted the best for me and to get me feeling better the quickest was really reassuring.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on. When you experience a sports injury, muscle, or joint pain, you want treatment right away. Parkview Ortho Express provides same-day orthopedic and sports injury care without referral or appointment, offering diagnostics, x-rays, the region's only body composition DEXA scan right inside of the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. Walk in Monday through Thursday, 7 to 7, Friday, 7 to 5, and Saturday, 8 to noon. For more information, go to parkviewsportsmedicine.com/orthoexpress.
This is the first time I've been able to do this kind of more complete understanding or view of your body. One of the things that's really important about this is that it's kind of legitimizing us as athletes.
Parkview Sports Medicine. Game on. Concussions. They're a concern for parents of athletes in any sport. That's why Parkview Sports Medicine is leading the way with the area's first concussion clinic. Our integrated sports medicine team utilizes an innovative, evidence-based approach to manage athletic-related head injuries in those 14 and older, providing comprehensive care to get the athlete you love safely back in play. To schedule an appointment, call Parkview Sports Medicine at 266-4007. Reaching higher, pushing further. Parkview Sports Medicine.